Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is straight line connecting 2 points of light, Dan Ryan.
So I'm a Ray?
Yeah, I feel good about that one.
That's fine. Yeah, no, you should. That was good.
Ray Ryan.
Oh, old Double R. That's me.
It is finally time for the next installment of the SAG Standouts, where Dan and I will be determining the 5 games that best represent the Vectrex. Do you know where the contrast dial is on a Vectrex system? Dust off your favorite overlays, because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now.
That was good. I like dust off your favorite overlays. That was good. Well done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, everyone. This is episode 619. It's the week of May 22nd, 2026, and welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the hell else is going on in our lives. Speaking of which, quick update. Hopefully you're watching this in video format this time. We've got redundancies in place now, or we're both recording our own audio.
What'd you call me?
Yes. We're both recording our own video, as well as Dan recording the Discord. So hopefully things all go back to relative normal next week. But anyway, how you doing, Dan? What's new and exciting? How you doing? How you been? How you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fucking tired. I'm just tired. It was a long year this week.
You just made me yawn.
I'm just fucking tired. There's just been a lot going on at work. Work has been very it's just been very taxing over the last couple of weeks here, and it's just really catching up to me. I really need a day off, and I'm very happy that I get one on Tuesday, because it's election day in the city, and the city pretty much shuts down. So sweet. I will not be going to work on Tuesday, and I'm very, very happy about that.
I am happy about that too.
Yeah, it's I'm just fucking tired.
I'm sorry. I hear you. I've been I'm pretty tired my own self. I've actually gotten a bit better sleep last couple of nights. I had probably about a solid week of insomnia that was really not doing it for me. Insomnia, not a fan.
No, it's not great.
Not a fan of having something in my throat either. Oh, hopefully that gets better. Yeah, no, it's been brutal as far as the sleep department goes, but I think I finally cracked a few things as far as the taking care of the sleep is concerned, and
excellent.
I'm doing a little bit better. Of course, I'm yawning now. I've been feeling pretty good most of the day.
I mean, I just looked it up because you said 619, and I know it's episode 619, and I don't know why it hit me in such a way, but I was like, fuck, that sounds like a lot. So I just did the math right quick, and this is 11 plus years of this shit. Kris, you're allowed to yawn. It's okay.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time.
That's right.
And hopefully we'll be doing it for a long time more.
No end in sight. The best thing that happened this week, before we get into the Vectrex, the best thing that happened this week is that I was finally able to get in on a pre-order. So fingers crossed, knock on wood. I have paid, and McFarlane Toys has charged my card for the Azrael Batman figure. Right, so from the Nightfall comic book series, this is the 3rd or 4th time they have released the Azrael armor, the big fucking spikes and the claw and the whole... It's so fucking nice. I fucking love it. I love it so much. Like, honestly, not like ironically or any of those other ways. I legitimately love that Azrael Batman armor. And the first time McFarlane released it in their 7-inch DC line, the blue was wrong. It was like a light blue, like a baby blue.
No, that's
almost.
not what it is. It is not a baby blue.
It's a dark navy blue, right? But it looked really good, and it was Walmart exclusive, which meant it got scooped up by scalpers, and if you were lucky enough to find it in Walmart, it's just a very difficult figure to come by. It's relatively... It's not bank breaking on eBay, or like secondhand market or whatever, but I'm not going to drop $90 on a figure that's the wrong color. You know what I mean? Like if it was
absolutely not.
I mean, I'm not going to drop $90 on a figure anyway, but like it's also the wrong color. So then they did like a couple other variations of it, and none of it had been exactly right. There was an all black one that looked really cool that came out last year, but like I missed the pre-order on that one because I was like, fuck it, I'll buy that. I'll paint it. You know what I mean? Whatever. But then this week they announced an actual proper colored Azrael armor Batman, and I pre-ordered it from McFarlane, so they should probably not run out, I would imagine, being the ones that make it. But we'll see. But I'm very excited. That was the best thing that happened this week.
Well, that's pretty nice.
It's not bad.
I don't think I have any other quick updates other than Ellie rode her bike to school, without me.
That's fun.
Her and her friend Sienna rode their bikes to school. They can get to school by themselves now, and that is fantastic. I was so proud of her.
My kids had to walk to school the other day, and they were furious. They were so fucking mad about it. I was like, I have a meeting. I had to go into work early, and I was like, I can't drop you guys off at school at 7:00 in the morning. Your doors don't open until 7:45. You're not just going to sit out there for 45 minutes,
It's a tragedy that they never learned how to ride their freaking bikes.
Well, that's part of it, but they were like, fuck, we got to walk. And I was like, dude, it's less than half a mile, or maybe a little more than half a mile. Shut the fuck up. I walk that in stairs every day, you pricks. They were so mad, though. They're teenagers. What are you going to do?
They can get us. Yeah, exactly. They're going to be so mad no matter what. Get a straw and suck it up.
And I keep telling, they're turning 17. So next week when we record will be the day after their 17th birthday. And I was like, see, if you guys had your driver's licenses, you would be able to drive to school. And they were like, we don't want them. And I was like, well, you don't want your license, and you don't want to walk anywhere, and you refuse to learn how to ride a bike. I'm just not always going to be available to be your fucking Uber. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, no, they want chauffeurs. Damn kids, and they're not wanting to get around. What kid doesn't want their driver's license? That's wild. Right? That's wild to me.
And we don't live in the city. I have plenty of friends that live in the city. Their kids don't get their driver's licenses in Philly or New York or whatever because you don't need it. We live in New Jersey.
Who the hell wants to drive in the city? Yeah.
I mean, there is public transportation here, but it's not
It's not
great.
Getting you where you want to go when you want to get there.
Exactly.
It's the last resort.
Mostly, it's just getting you into Philly. So, or New York. Those are your options. Anyway. Oh, yeah.
Any hoozles. Let's get started, shall we? This is the
talk to me about your V.
Oh, I will. This is SAG Standouts. This is where Dan and I take a look, a stroll through a games library, and try to determine what the 5 games that best represent a system are. This time we are talking about the Vectrex. This is a much loved system by me. A much more loved system by many of our listeners. We have some folks that are big fans of this. Andy never got back to me, did he? I asked the staff, because I know we all have fans of the Vectrex on staff, especially Andy, one of the owners. And he never got back to me. He said he would try to come up with a list, and then he didn't. Because I know he's a big fan of the Vectrex, so... But he asked if we could cover homebrews as well. So we're not covering homebrews. Vectrex actually has a whole lot of good homebrew stuff. Like the Vectrex has a really cool homebrew scene.
Yeah.
But we're just talking about the official stuff here. Any game is on the table. I forgot to look up their prices because I forgot that was a thing that we do. But yeah. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? How do you want to play this? How do you want to do this tonight, good sir?
Well, so I mean, I can go first because I'm going to be looking for you to add some context to this because the Vectrex is such a specific experience, right? It is the overlays on the screen, and there's a real because I've messed around with it a little bit with you, Chris. That is the only time I've ever. Vectrex. Yeah, I've only messed around with it like once or twice. I obviously don't have one, and emulating the Vectrex is, I mean, it's certainly doable, but it is not the best way to enjoy these games. It just loses a lot of the charm and the depth and all of those things.
Yeah, it's, because it's vector graphics. It is a very specific visual thing. It's the games are still what they are, but it's you lose a lot of that flair, You just do. And playing it on a 8-bit do controller is a little, it's just not the same, right? Like this is not what the Vectrex controller looked like. It didn't have dual analog sticks. No, not at all.
So, that said, it was interesting. The first game on my list, I'm just trying to go back. Where did I put my prices? Okay. The first game on my list, checking in at, this is an expensive system to collect for.
Yes,
apparently.
Yes,
I was not expecting it to be this expensive. But I thought this game was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It was, it's $26 I only did the loose price, not the, God damn it. I'm so unprepared. I apologize. It is
dare you.
$26 for a loose copy, $55 new in box. And that is Bedlam.
Oh, okay. Bedlam's a good one.
I thought Bedlam was cool. It was one of the first ones that I fired up, and maybe that has something to do with it. But I thought the star-shaped board play area, I guess, was really just like a cool thing. So you're a ship in the middle of like a 6-pointed star? A 5-point? It's a 6-pointed star, right? Yes? That gets smaller?
Let's go with you. I don't know the game that well. Let's see.
I don't know how much further on you get if it changes all that much. But anyway, so you start in yes, it's 6-pointed. I just looked it up. I've got it up here on the screen and finally fucking showed up. So you start like with a 6-starred vector graphic star, and you're just a little ship in the middle, and you got to shoot shit that's like flying at you from all the different points.
3-point, and then it turns into a 4-point.
Starts at 3-point. Did it get to 6? I don't fucking remember. This was
YouTube video right now,
like a month and a half ago, Chris, that I actually did this shit. I'm trying to remember. But it was cool, right? Like you just the fucking enemies fly in and you spin around and you shoot them. It was fine. It was fun.
It's like it's kind of kind of Asteroids adjacent. I like this game. I've never spent a ton of time with it. It's just one of those neat little things where it's like it just the further you get into it, the shapes keep changing. I think it's really just those basic 5 though, right?
Because it's a 3-point, one,
then a 4-point. Then a 5-point. No, yeah. Then goes 3, 4, 6. Then a diamond. Then 3.
I don't think I got to the diamond.
And then the diamond. There's the second time you go through it, the diamond kind of loops around while you're playing it, so it's moving around. It looks like it just continues to loop in those. in that direction. I've never gotten super far into it. I like Bedlam. It didn't make my list at all, but yeah, I like this one.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool. Like I said, I played these like a month ago, so I'm gonna watch some videos so I'm not acting like a fucking complete idiot as I talk about these. But yeah, it was cool.
The disrespect to the Vectrex. You're gonna make our listeners very upset, Dan.
Why? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did this a month ago when we fucking talked about it, and I was like, "Oh, let me get this in," because I'm also trying to fucking play.
Disappointed in you.
What? You're right. That's fair. I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
I know you're trying to play Earthbound.
Yeah, I'm just like, let me get these fucking shitty vector graphics in real quick. This fucking dumb system that only dumb people like. That's right. I said it.
Tragic. Okay, well, my first pick is not Bedlam. My first pick is Cosmic Chasm. You can get this one loose for $12.02 or complete for $39.49. This game is super cool. Kind of took me a minute to understand it. So the point of this is that you're trying to get to the center of this like planet. I don't actually know the story. But you're trying to get to the core of this planet and destroy it. So like it starts you off with a map and it kind of shows you where you're starting, and it's super abstract. If you don't know what it is, it's just like, okay, there's spaghetti all over my screen. What is this supposed to be? And then I looked up the instruction manual and learned it a little bit better. So they start you off on this map, and then you've got to make plans on how you're going to get to the core so that you can destroy it. And each one of you start on a stage, and it's got like this little, I don't know, some sort of core in the middle that's not the core you're trying to destroy. And then there's like all these little ships and stuff that are trying to attack you. And it moves a lot like asteroids. The thing that makes it really wild, though, is that you don't shoot a single shot in the middle. You shoot this double shot. So you can shoot directly around the enemies. So you actually have to make sure you're shooting like kind of on the right angle to hit the enemies. And then there are openings that have these dotted lines, and you can drill through those, and that's how you choose which path you're going to take to the next area. And you have to make all those areas until you can get to the center and the core and actually destroy it. It is really fun. I love asteroids. And this is a really, really, really neat take on that formula. It had been a long time since I played this one. I'd never really put a lot of time into it the first time I played it, and throughout the week I put a bunch more time into it. This game is a lot of fun. It's extremely well done. I actually like it better without the overlay. The overlay on this one is red and blue. I don't actually have the overlay myself, so a lot of the overlays, like, you know what? I probably do have. I have a handful of Vectrex overlays somewhere, and I forgot to even look for them. God, now I want to know which ones I have, which ones I didn't use. But like, anyway, the Cosmic Chasm one is red, and I think this one looks better in black and white. But this game is super cool. I adore Cosmic Chasm. It is absolutely one of the coolest games, I think, on the system, and I do believe it is a... Is this an original, or is this on other platforms? So the thing about Vectrex that's different from ColecoVision, right? So we had with the ColecoVision, I didn't really like picking arcade games, right? Because it's still like there's just better ways to play those games. If you want to play Donkey Kong, you don't want to play the ColecoVision version. Like if you grew up with that one, sure, there's nostalgia, but if you want to play Donkey Kong, play Donkey Kong. Like the arcade versions are typically better. Vectrex is different because most of the arcade translations on here are either original takes on it to avoid copyright claims, or also completely different versions of them. Like it killed me to not put Berserk on this list, but there were a couple other ones that I liked better.
I thought Berserk
better represented the system.
Yeah,
I really enjoy Berserk, and it is a completely unique version of Berserk because this is Berserk through vector graphics. So it looks so different from any other version, and it's a really, really good version of Berserk. Berserk is so much fun, and I really wanted to put it on my list, but it got edged out by a few other things. But anyway,
it just feels
Cosmic Chasm
so different.
was originally created for the Vectrex, and it was according to Wikipedia, it became the first game developed for a home system to be turned into an arcade game, although that is a citation needed. So I don't think we can prove that, but yeah, it was developed originally for Vectrex. So this is an OG Vectrex joint, and I like that a lot. It's good stuff.
As the cool kids say.
I don't have the actual cartridge. So I played all these on my Vectrex. I have the Sean Kelly multi-cart. So I had like pretty much the whole official catalog in a single cartridge on my Vectrex. So I have 3 cartridges for Vectrex. Besides, some of our listeners, Genix gave me a couple of homebrews, but I have 3 original carts. Which ones are they? Let me see if I can look that up, because I don't want to dig into my closet, but I'm pretty sure I have I had deleted my catalog of games so that I could recatalog them a while back, and I'm nowhere near getting to Vectrex because it is a very slow project. But I don't. I still have my backup on my computer, not on my phone. So let's see. Where's my Vectrex collection? Vectrex. Oh, I actually have several original ones. Okay. I have Solar Quest, Space Wars, and Starhawk. None of those games are on my list.
Oh, one of those is on my list.
Oh, neato.
Yeah.
And then I got Crush Lucifer and Vector Blade, and then of course the Sean Kelly multi-cart is what I play all my games on, because that's fun.
It's such a weird system with all of like the different multi-carts and the homebrew stuff, and like it's a really interesting system. Like it's niche as fuck.
It is.
But like
I was having a problem seeing things on my system, and then I remembered, I looked up online, like, I know there's a way to adjust contrast. Where is it? The contrast dial is on the back of the console.
Is it one of the ones where you have to like you have to put like a little screwdriver in? Does it have like the little divot you got to get into?
It looks like it, but you don't actually have to. You can just turn it up. Oh, okay. And I did, and I turned up the contrast. Like, I can see everything now. Yay!
Because that's how fucking old we are.
Yes. Yes, indeed. All right, what's your second game there, Cap?
I am interested to see what your opinion of this game is, if it's on your list, if you played it. I think I spent the most time with this one, but it's super fucking frustrating. It goes for $44 loose and $87 complete in box. Fortress of Narzad.
Fortress of Narzad. I freaking love this game. I love this game.
Is this on your list?
Yeah, it's my next game, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
As soon as you said $44, I was like, I think I know where this is going. Yes, this game is so good.
I am not good at this game. Because I got to tell you, the first time that the fucking bullets come back and hit you and you explode, I was like, what the fuck was that?
Got to pay attention to where because your bullets. So basically, it's like a shooting game. It's like Space Invaders with bouncy bullets in a chasm, right?
Yeah.
And like you have to like shoot your bullets, and they'll bounce off these walls to hit all the enemies. But
which is
if
cool.
You shoot straight forward, your bullets will bounce back at you. So you've got to make sure that you are paying attention to what is coming at you at all times. It is really fun. I love this game. I am also not very good at it.
Yeah, boy.
I have no idea what my high score is. I couldn't tell you how far I've gotten into it. I want to say the second or third level, I think.
I don't even know if I got that far.
Because like you'll beat a bunch of waves, and then they'll tell you can go into the gate, and you just got to fly up and actually fly all the way into the gate. Because unlike Space Invaders, you can move backward and forward. Like you have full range to go all around this course. I tend to stay towards the back and play it like Centipede, where like you can. I only go up a certain amount before I start, getting scared and backing off, because I want to be able to see what I'm shooting and stuff. But like they can hide behind the wall in the chasm. It is such a cool game.
This game's fucking wild, and like this is one of the few ones that I played where I was like, all right, man, like, I really wish I had, like, an actual console that I was sitting here playing this on, because I could see, like, just getting fucking lost in this game and trying to get really good, because, man, it's hard. This game is so hard, but you start to get, there's a weird, like, rhythm, like, you get, what the fuck do the kids call, I don't know what the kids call it, not in the zone, the kids call it something else. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. What?
I said,
do you say do they? They do, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, kids are fucking weird. But, like, you start to get a flow state. That's what it fucking is. You start to get into the flow state, and like, it starts to work, and, like, you're weaving and dodging and shooting shit, and enemies are popping up, and you're like, I see you, you little fucker. And, like, you're just bouncing shit around. It was really fucking cool, but it's really, really difficult. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's super fun. This is another one. This one is the overlay on this one's pretty neat. It actually gives the game a pretty different look. So the overlay looks like a green mountain. So the play field looks like it's on a mountain instead of just in like it's a little bit more abstract without the thingy-mahoo. So one thing that I don't think I've ever actually gotten to myself, but I'm pretty sure that, so this has a boss battle. Once you go through
I didn't get there.
3 worlds, I want to say. Let me double check that. I'm trying to find it in this YouTube, but somebody's doing a YouTube playthrough of it. All right. So once you go through the first, it looks like 3 worlds, you can go through the gate, and then you get to this like totally different screen where you're like, it's just a flat open playfield. And there's this like stick figure dude just chucking shit at you. I have gotten to this before, and I don't think I've ever beaten him. This guy beat him on the YouTube. I'm looking at Retro Gaming Loft. He busted him up. This little stick figure dude's just throwing all kinds of shit at you. It's really cool.
I want to spend some more time with this one because, like, I wanted to be better at this one. I just really had a really good time with it.
There's really cool strategy stuff involved in it with, like, so eventually, I think in like the 3rd round or something, before you go through the gate for the first time, there's this, these birds will show up, and when you kill the birds, they land on the playfield, and they're like cover, basically. So and you can't shoot through them. So, like, you have to be careful shooting the birds of where you're going to shoot them, because the enemies can hide behind them, and you got to try to make different shots to try to get to the enemies. This game friggin' rules. I love this one. This is a great pick. This is my second pick. Sorry, I talked over your pick.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, because so much of this is weird because it's, it on a flat screen. It just doesn't have the same. Shut up, phone. Fuck. I get it. I got to post dogs. Jesus Christ.
I love it when you die in this one too. When you die in this one, like the way your ship crumples, it looks so cool on an actual Vectrex. Like,
and it's a cool looking ship.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool looking ship.
Like it's a cool looking ship. It doesn't look like anything else. It's pretty original. Yeah, it looks like the top of a trident. It was cool.
Vectrex stuff tends to animate really, really well because it's just moving these lines between these specific dots, and it gives the opportunity to move in ways that like home consoles just can't do. It's really freaking cool.
Yeah, there's some really neat looking stuff on here, but yeah, this was cool, and it's a cool name.
All right, what's your next one?
I like the name.
Yeah,
Fortress of Narzad. That was cool. All right, what you got next?
Story, right?
You're up.
Oh, I go next? All right, so this one...
I took your second one.
I had to pick this one, and because this is the Vectrex game. This is the game that's built into, I believe, most Vectrexes, which is why, if you wanted to find an actual cartridge for it, the cart is $23.42, but a complete copy is $314. Because, this is not the kind of thing that you find very often. But this is the game that's built into the system. When I think Vectrex, this is the game, and it is Mindstorm. Mindstorm is basically Asteroids, but I think it's a little bit cooler. But what's so amazing about it is that this is the closest you could get to proper arcade Asteroids at home. Still, without actually having a full arcade cabinet of Asteroids. This is the this is a vector asteroids game, just like the arcade game. It looks so cool. It sounds so cool. It's got different enemy types that aren't in asteroids. It sounds really good. Like your ship's movement sounds really cool.
I love this. Is the next one on my list as well.
Fantastic.
I love the way enemies explode in this game.
Oh, I love the way they explode. I love the ship that drops the stars, right? Yeah, so like you're in
the
space,
ninja stars.
And so there's this background that's just so the background of the stage is like little dots that represent the space stars. But at the beginning of every stage, a ship flies by and puts them in place. It goes do 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 do, and this ship like slowly goes by, and all these little stars show up in the background, and then you play the level, and it is just so cool. It is such a great game. It is a wholesale ripoff of Asteroids, and it just
1000%
unabashed about it.
Yeah.
But it changes it up just enough to be its own thing, but also it is the best way to play Asteroids at home with the original intended vector graphics, because that's what this is. It's a fantastic game. I friggin' love Mindstorm, and I know there are probably there's more interesting games, I think, than Mindstorm in the Vectrex library, like absolutely. But we're talking about the games that really define this system, and Mindstorm is not only it is pitch perfect to play, it is so very much fun, but because it was the pack-in game for so many Vectrexes, I'm not 100% sure if it's in all of them. I would have to say most, since there is a cartridge version that exists.
Right.
But it's just so part of that system's DNA, and if I just can't think of the system without thinking of Mindstorm.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely on my list as well, for all the reasons you said. I mean, Asteroids is brilliant. This is a brilliant version of Asteroids. Yeah, and you're right. Like it is just different enough. But it's fucking
few little
great.
Different enemy types, just a little bit in there.
It's really fun. It plays super smooth. Like it just controls really well. I mean, obviously, right? This was almost like what the system was designed around. Like we started with this, and we were like, all right. Well, this is like, we're just going to build the system for this game, it feels like. Those fucking explosions are so cool, though. All the, like, lines going off. It's just, it's a fucking dope game.
They look great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything about love everything about it. Mindstorm is phenomenal.
Nah, it sucks.
All right. That brings me up to you. That brings us to your turn. What's your next pick, sir?
So I'm going to go ahead and guess that this might be on your list as well. Although, no. Well, did you say you had this one? No, I don't remember. Hold on. Fuck, I got to find the price. I've been doing them one at a time. I don't know why. It's not that's not the way to do it. So this one is about $20 loose and is about $50 complete in box. And it is Scramble.
Ah, good pick. Didn't make my list.
No?
I'm not the biggest Scramble fan because I'm fucking terrible at it. But this is a great version of Scramble. It's a winner.
It's a super fun shooter, right? Like, so it's a side-scrolling space shooter. You're dropping bombs, right? On rockets. I don't know what these are. These enemy spaceships? Are they missiles? I don't fucking know. I don't know that it matters. But there's little targets to hit, like little square station looking things. Then there looks like there's some boxes that you're blowing up. There's some rockets or spaceships that are firing off at you. You're dropping bombs on them, and then as you make your way through the stage, there will be some flying enemies as well. But it's just really fun. It's just a solid vector Scramble. There's not really a lot to say. It's a solid fun game. It doesn't do
Scramble,
anything.
It works as.
It doesn't do anything new. Like, it's not super innovative or anything. But it's just really fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because it played really well. I think, like, the controls were good. It felt good to play. There's a lot of these, like, old space shooters and whatnot. Like, there wasn't much else going on but the controls. And when the controls fall apart, it's obviously a piece of shit game. This one felt good to play. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, this is an excellent game. I think, is on a lot of people's lists for being among the best games on the platform.
It's just really solid.
It is. It's very well done. It just doesn't play to my personal sensibilities. I've never really gotten a good hang of Scramble, but I've played a decent amount on here, trying to learn how to play it. Game stresses me out, but it's good. It's a very good game. It's a really good pick.
Yeah.
My next pick, this has always been one of my favorites ever since I got this multi-cart, because I didn't know this existed before I got the multi-cart, and when I heard about it, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This in vector graphics? That's gotta be wild. So my next pick is Pole Position. I love Pole Position on Atari 2600. I loved playing Pole Position in the arcades. This Vectrex version is wild. All right, so it's $80 loose, 210.55 complete. This is a pretty rare game, but it works so well. This game is so crazy good looking. It is just first off, it's just a very fun version of Pole Position, but it looks and feels so different from the arcade version. It is a very unique thing. Man, if you've never seen this game in action on a real system, it is really something to behold. It uses the Vectrex, the vector graphics to such an astoundingly good degree. I want to know who programmed this one.
Yeah, I'm looking at gameplay now. It's such a wild looking because when I think of Pole Position, this is not at all what I think about.
No, not at all. Okay, so GCE actually did this one themselves. I wasn't sure if either Namco or Atari was involved in this in some way, shape, or form, but no, it seems they just licensed it and made their own version of it. My goodness, this is such a... I was blown away the first time I played this. I've never played it with an overlay. The overlay looks pretty neat, but honestly, this game looks perfectly cool without an overlay, just in the black and white, because it's such a neat looking game, and it's really fun. Pole Position is always pretty fun, and this is no exception. This is a really good version of Pole Position. It's one of the coolest, I think, technically impressive games on the system. It's one of my go-tos. Whenever I turn on my Vectrex, it is one of the games that I absolutely have to play. It's just super fun.
Yeah, that's a very, very solid pick. I think, what is there, correct me if I'm wrong, is there a wheel controller or attachment type thing for the Vectrex? Am I completely making that up?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
but,
I thought I remembered reading something about that when I was looking stuff up. I'm just curious as to different ways to play, because again, I'm playing this not at all on original hardware, and I'm just... Yeah, I don't
think there's a racing wheel. I know there's a 3D version of this. Vectrex peripherals. There's controllers, the modified controller, peripherals. There's the 3D imager, the light pen. Yeah, no, I don't see a racing wheel. I'm not familiar with one anyway. I'm not saying it would be necessary. I was just curious if there was another way to play it. I think there were only 2 racing games released for the platform. I could be wrong. But what was the other one? No, I love Pole Position. I don't know. I don't think it's very good, though.
I think there were 2. I don't give a fuck what the other one is. All right. Well, that brings us to the last game on my list. It is $37 loose. It is $66 complete in box. And that is Space Wars, which is the one you said you had.
No, it's a game that I own, yes, but it's not on my list.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You said you had it. You own the card for it. This is the one when I was playing, when it really hit me that I would much rather be doing this on an actual console against another person.
Any other way.
Yeah, because I saw what was here, right? Obviously, I know what Space Wars is. but I saw what was here and the way that this moved and the way that this played and all of the things, and I was like, yeah, like this is going to be on my list because this is a thing that I would absolutely have had just a fuck ton of fun in person, playing against somebody, talking shit, you know, like standing. I imagined like standing at your bar and talking shit and fucking playing this, and it's just cool. Like you fly around and you shoot each other, and there's a ton of fun strategy and firing bullets and coming across the screen and doing all the, you know, the fucking what am I trying to say? The asteroids type shit, like coming in from the other side of the screen, and right, you do that in asteroids.
Yeah, I mean it's Space War. It's one of the oldest
Space Wars. Like I'm trying to think of a way to say it other than it's Space Wars, because like I mean it's Space Wars, right?
But it's a really good version of it. It's a very well crafted version of it. I don't have a second Vectrex controller, so I've never actually played this multiplayer.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to.
Like it's fun playing against the computer. Version. You know, it's fine, but I want
the real joy of this would be against other people, and I could definitely see why you would put this on the list. You know, just to have some sort of proper 2-player representation, especially like good, and it does look very good. It is an excellent version of Space Wars.
Yeah, just trying to think of ways to say like something other than it's Space Wars. It's the first video game, like, you know. How else do you describe it? It's fucking Space Wars. It's cool. Fucking expensive.
Well,
these are all expensive.
My last one is $15.57 loose. It's $44.80 complete. It is Star Trek. Star Trek is freaking cool, man.
It is.
So
I thought about
this game. It's not Star Raiders, right? There's not a lot of like strategy stuff. So it's from a cockpit view space battle situation, and you're blowing up Klingons and Romulans, and it's hard as shit. You got limited ammo and fuel. You've got to like refuel at this like space station. You can shoot the enemy torpedoes that come at you. I am dog shit at this game, but it is really, really fun.
But it's fun.
It is really, really fun. It is a very good looking game. It's a very cool showpiece for how good a game you can really make on this kind of a system, like this kind of arcade action. It is a bummer that like Star Wars was never officially ported to Vectrex. But this is not entirely dissimilar to some of the action in the Star Wars arcade game. There's got to be an unofficial Star Wars arcade for Vectrex.
You would think so. I didn't spend much time with this one because I was like, fuck it, it's Star Trek. I don't care. You know? I feel like that's maybe a mistake.
Because that is... Yeah, no, this game is super... This game is Star Trek in name only.
Yeah.
Like this, I think this was even released as something other than Star Trek in some territories because, like, it's an action game. Star Trek is not an action thing. Yeah, there is a homebrew version of Star Wars on Vectrex, and it's fantastic looking. And I should get it. But yes, this is... Let me see. Where is that page? Trek. Star Trek. Motion picture. It was developed by GCE. Maybe I'm wrong about it being released under a different name. Maybe I'm not. I'm not reading all this, but either way, it certainly doesn't feel like a Star Trek game. Like it's a space dogfight game, and that's not really Star Trek. But boy, does it work! Boy, is it fun! It's hard, but it is rewarding. I had a blast with this one.
It looks like I just looked something up about it. While scouring eBay, I stumbled upon a Vectrex title I'd never heard of. How could Starship have been excluded from my multi-cart? Well, after I purchased it, I discovered I had previously reviewed it under a different moniker, Star Trek the Motion Picture.
There it is.
So Starship looks to be it. Yeah. Now I'm looking at comparisons of the two.
Okie doke.
Yep.
Starship. Yeah. I was okay, so I'm not that crazy. I'm not that
No.
crazy. All right. Good stuff. Do you have any other ones you want to mention, like things that just didn't quite make the list?
I mean, again, unfortunately, not really, because like, Fortress of Narzad was the one that I spent the most time with. I wasn't enjoying it as much as I knew I would be if I was playing it on an actual console. And I know a lot of these older systems, when we emulate, like the ColecoVision and whatnot, like with the number pad, and it's difficult to get the actual feeling. This one really felt like I was not getting the full experience. So I really didn't.
Yeah,
I got my list. And I was like, I like these. I enjoy these. These are fine. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's so inauthentic to the actual experience of it, I feel.
I can understand that. There is a lot of cool stuff to be had, but without actually seeing it in person, it is a pretty different
just
animal.
Didn't feel right.
Yeah, it's not quite the same. Like, if we do this for Virtual Boy, it's going to be kind of a similar situation. Not as much. Like, I don't think you lose as much by losing the 3D effect with Virtual Boy as you do versus seeing the actual vector graphics do their thing here, but it's a pretty similar situation. Like,
but you still lose some.
You want to play those.
You know, like
you do still lose some, yeah. Like, they're still very playable without it, and I would argue that the Vectrex stuff is also still very playable and very fun without it.
It definitely was.
There is really something missing and that when you don't have it.
And I think, like, had I played a lot of Vectrex games before, I think it would have been easier to make that jump to, like, the emulated version of it. You know what I mean? Because I would know, like, what I was getting myself into versus, like, imagining what it could be. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'll mention a few others. Obviously, I mentioned Berserk earlier. It's a really good version of Berserk. It just barely got nudged off my list.
That would be the one, I guess. It was cool.
I have a lot of fun with Clean Sweep, which is a really fun take on Pac-Man. It doesn't go too far out of the way to not be Pac-Man. So this game, like, the story is there was a bank robbery and there's money all over the floor and you have to vacuum it up. That's the way it does. It does the dots. But what's cool about this is the more dots you pick up, the more money you pick up, the slower you get. So you have to, like, pick up a bunch of stuff and then go to the center to drop off money, cash in, and then you go back out and pick up some more until you clear out the maze. The things that are chasing you are supposed to be bank robbers, but they don't look like they look like demon shape things. I don't know. It doesn't friggin' matter. And instead of getting power pellets, there's these, like, rooms that you go into to get the power up that lets you get rid of the bad guys. And instead of, like, so your whole thing is in the center. So the enemies actually show up from the outside instead of coming from the inside and then going back out. It is, like I said, it's just different enough from Pac-Man, but it is a really, really, really fun take on Pac-Man. Web Wars is really fun. Again, I am absolute shit at this game, and I think I'd like Web Wars if my controller was better. My controller has a lot of issues with it, like the buttons don't work as well as they should. Sometimes they take a lot of pressure to get to do anything. Web Wars is a really challenging game. It like takes place in a trench, and you've got to, like, try to use this button to save bugs or something while these other things are attacking you. And it's just really hard, but it's a very, very interesting game. And I feel like if I got really good at it, it could really go somewhere. And the last one I wanted to mention was Spike. I wanted to like Spike more than I do. I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. It just looks incredible. So Spike is like a platformer where it's very much set up like Donkey Kong, but from an angle. So it's almost got like a 3D view to it. It's really, really cool. And you can, like, kick and you can jump around, and it has voice to it. So, like, whenever you beat a level, it's got the game talks to you. It's really, really cool. It doesn't, require a voice module or anything like the IntelliVoice or anything. It's just something that it does based on the system itself. it's really, really neat. It's like, it's a very, very impressive game. It's just not quite as fun as the other ones, which is why I didn't make the list. But it is super noteworthy. And if you're playing on a Vectrex and you have the opportunity to play Spike, definitely give it a go because it's friggin' bizarre. It's nuts to see this game in motion and then to also hear it in reality. It's very, very cool stuff. That's our picks for Vectrex.
Yeah, there's a lot of homebrew for Vectrex that I was like,
a lot
of this looks really cool. I know it's not eligible for our list,
crazy stuff.
But there's some cool looking homebrew stuff for this. It's such a fucking weird ass system. It's so fucking weird. Yeah. And it was around for what?
This even exists.
A year and a half?
Not a very long time, no.
Like a year and a half, 2 years, and then they were done. Like it's so expensive. It's so fucking niche. It's just such a weird ass system. Like, I'm glad we did this. I wish it emulated better. That's my big takeaway.
A lot easier for you.
Yeah.
Can I? I'm trying to put it in my the spreadsheet here. That's working all weird. That's okay. All right. So what is the next system on our list? What is next?
So the next system on the list is also niche. Not a ton of titles for it. This should be pretty easy. The Nintendo Entertainment System.
That old chestnut.
This is
going to be hard to pick 5 games.
Right. So this is like, this one I think is going to lead to some very interesting conversation in the month. Because if we're talking money be damned for what you need for the Nintendo, I don't know that it changes the list all that much. Of like...
Yeah, no, it's just 5 Blaster Masters. That's...
It's just Blaster Master 5 times in a row.
That's it.
But no, like, because of the popularity of the Nintendo, a lot of the very best games are still pretty affordable. I mean, like, if you go back and look at what we did for our original list, our starter kits, right? We had some pretty great lists for $100. Even the list I put together of 4 games. Now, this was however many years ago we did this now, but I had Punch-Out!, Mega Man 2, The Legend of Zelda, and Super Mario Brothers 2. Those 4 games for less than $100. That's not fucking bad,
That's not bad at all, no.
That's not bad. And my original list for that was Blaster Master, Dragon Warrior, Legacy of the Wizard, Kung Fu, Mega Man 3, because it's cheaper than 2, because it's not as good as 2, Metroid, RC Pro-Am, Rygar, the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt World Class Track Meet Multicart, Super Spike Volleyball, and Tecmo Bowl, all for under $100. So like there's plenty of really good shit on this system for less than $100, and I'm going to be really interested to see, then money be damned, what makes it on the list. Because Little Samson is really fucking expensive, but I don't know that it's one of the top 5 NES games.
Yeah, I don't think it's one of those. I don't think it is.
I don't know that it's not making my list. I'm not positive on that, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I think it's time for it to go with some listener feedback here. I posted this on all of our socials of what people what people think their 5 games that best represent the Vectrex are. We'll start over on our Facebook page. Bobby Edad Moore says, not only are my picks the games I play most often, they're also a nice spread of genres. In no particular order, we have Clean Sweep, Mindstorm, Flipper Pinball. Oh, Flipper Pinball's a good one. Berserk, and cool. Pole Position. However, my absolute fave game on the Vectrex is a fairly recent indie game called Big Blue. It's a scuba diving treasure hunt with sharks, eels, jellyfish, and a bigger boat. Love it. I've never heard of Big Blue. I'm going to give that one a look. Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection says Scramble and Cosmic Chasm. They were the only 2 games I really enjoyed. Oh, okay. Stephen Cray says Mindstorm, Neon Hawk, Protector, Release, Firezon. The Vectrex is the greatest console of all time, in my humble opinion.
I mean,
that's a bold statement, and you know what? I respect it. I may not agree, but I respect your enthusiasm.
I don't respect it at all.
Andy Little says Scramble, Spike, Star Trek, Armor Attack, and Ripoff. Ripoff was cool too. Ripoff's a good one. Honorable mention to Blitz. Frank Jr.
Blitz
says
looked
Spike,
cool.
Mindstorm. Yeah, Blitz was neat. Sorry, let's see. Frank Jr. said Spike and Mindstorm. Isaac Gudino says Airplane Shooter. I don't know that one. And Ross Langloy says Spike is one of them. Yeah, Spike is super cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we've got. Let's see if anybody responded to us on the old Twitters.
As an aside, as you're looking up shitter, I just looked up Little Samson, and Price Charting currently has a loose copy of Little Samson rated at $21.05, $2,105.
Yeah, that's
no,
that's not acceptable.
No.
All right, so over on Twitter, we have at DM says Berserk, Clean Sweep, Scramble, Ripoff, and Pole Position. Shot in the dark here. I just got a Vectrex and it needs some work. You wouldn't happen to know anyone in the U.S. who offers us to service a Vectrex, do you? Probably recap and dial an image. Yeah, we do. I'm pretty sure we will service a Vectrex. So DM, if you're listening, contact us at support@stoneagegamer.com. I know the guys at the shop are big Vectrex fans. Mailing it might be troublesome because, these things ain't light, but, it's worth looking into. I'll
and for enough money
on Twitter as well.
Chris will service anybody. So,
You darn tootin' I will.
He'll recap you.
Jody Hicks says Star Castle, Star Trek, Spike, Fortress of Narzad, and Bedlam. Good picks. The Goat says, I can count on one hand the number of people in the world who can name 5 Vectrex games off the top of their head. I don't think you can. I think there are more of us than you think there are, The Goat. Let's see. Faye says Nebula Commander, Vectrexagon, Protector, Vector Pilot, and Firezon. There's that one again. I think those are homebrews.
There's not a game called Vectrexagon, is there?
Probably that's what makes me think these are. Well, that's what makes me think it's a homebrew because their homebrew ones will have like Vectrex in there. Like what was it? Genix was just saying in our Discord that he ordered somebody ported VibRibbon to Vectrex and it's called VectRibbon. So that's a thing. Let's see. Okay. Lars Shade says Scramble, Pole Position, Berserk, Bedlam, and Mindstorm.
I'm feeling a little more validated with my Bedlam pick.
Yeah. Someone named Edwin tagged someone says MK Stay on Target said you got that many games, and this Michael Croter person said I have 9 counting the built-in game Mindstorm. Space War, Armor Attack, and Cosmic Chasm are my favorites. Heck yeah, Cosmic Chasm. Runners up are Web Wars and Spike, if only for their amazing curio value. Oh, that was a nice list there. And then we finally have Mr. E said Spike, Eek, and Molly. I'm assuming Eek and Molly are other games. I don't know those ones. Yeah. Thank you, the Twitter universe. What do we got? Did we get any responses over on Bluesky? Did anyone respond on the Bluesky?
That's how you say it.
That is how you say it. And no, nobody did. I've got a couple of likes and a repost, but nobody responded over on the old Blue Sky. What about Threads? We get anybody on Threads?
Oh, look, are we on all these things? Fuck, should I be posting more? God damn it.
Only if you want to. We got one response on Threads. Collector Kris Game Pick says Berserk, Pole Position, Spike, Clean Sweep, and Mindstorm. Good picks all around. And I guess that means we can move over to the Discord. So this is probably where we're going to get the most discussion on SAG Standouts. let's
I'll start.
Scroll back to... Oh, boy.
P2Mick28 says, as someone who has extremely little but not zero experience with the Vectrex, my entire list is Vector Blade. Correcting it from Mindstorm. The only game I've played, but it's fantastic. Multiple power-ups, a shop, various level types. This game is so cool.
Where are you? Oh. No, this goes back further than that.
Was there more than that?
But yes.
I'm sorry.
There is.
Oh, fuck. There is much more than that. I apologize.
Let's see. I'm trying to get the first feedback that's actual lists here. Lots of talking about the Vectrex. I think the first list actually comes from Genix. Genix is our resident, Vectrex fanatic. So, okay, incoming massive list. I decided to start early. The Vectrex is to me as the ColecoVision is to Dan. Vectrex was my first home console, but I do remember playing a Sears Pong machine, so who can tell what came first? I'm saying it was Vectrex because I still play it, and that Pong machine hasn't been seen in over 30 years. If you could only give me one retro console and have to launch all of my others into the sun, I would always choose Vectrex. The uniqueness of the vector graphics and the things that the developers and homebrew developers can pull off out of this machine is nothing short of amazing. This is the machine I go to help me unplug for the world and just forget about the garbage. This thing is my baby and I adore it. The homebrew scene is great with loads of arcade ports, which is honestly where this machine shines the most. Since homebrew is so prevalent, I was thinking about doing a list of that too. If anyone is curious, let me know. I won't be listing prices because if I'm being fully honest, if you just want to play the games, you should pick up a multi-cart for about $40 to $50 and have access to everything. I'll have my high scores listed when I've kept track of them. Let's see who can get higher. I'm including 6 here because Mindstorm is an automatic since it's built in the machine. All right, fair enough. Cosmic Chasm. Yes, I had this game as a kid and could never get enough. This is a Vectrex original. In a rare turn of events, it started on Vectrex and was then later ported to arcades. Fight your way to the center of the maze from a random starting position, drop your bomb at the core, and race out of the maze before the bomb timer hits 0. I could never figure out how to drop the bomb when I was a kid. The instruction manuals got tossed by my dad. You do it by getting close to the core in the middle of the maze, turning your back to it, and pushing down on the joystick in case you get stuck like I did. High score, 36,790. Mindstorm.
Turn your back to space.
Come on, this has to be on every list since it's built into the system. The Vectrex's take on asteroids, but instead of just shoot rocks, wink wink Kris, this game has 4 different enemy types. Your dummy enemy that floats around, a dummy enemy that shoots a projectile at you when you hit it, an X-shaped enemy that follows you, and a mixed enemy that both follows you and shoots projectile at you when you shoot it. Each level is a different combination of the enemies. If you make it past level 13, there's a glitch that causes half the enemies to spawn invisible. That's what the super rare Mindstorm 2 cartridge fixes. The games are identical other than that. High score, 170,233. Pole position. Driving games are in short supply on the Vectrex, and this one certainly bests Hyper Chase, the other driving game, in my book. A great port of the arcade. Avoid other cars and see how long you can last on the track. High score, 70,300. Scramble. This is an awesome port of the arcade game. The Vectrex is the only home console to receive a port, unless you count the Tomy Tudor, which, what the hell is that thing anyway? Fly through narrow passages and shoot down rockets, drop your bombs to the fuel tankers to refuel your ship, and keep going. High score, 33,960. Ripoff. Another game I had as a kid. A port of the arcade game. I would argue that the Vectrex version is way more visually appealing than the arcade version. Protect your fuel cells in the middle of the screen from pirates. The longer you defend, the faster and more aggressive the pirate ships get. I'm horrible at this game, but it's really fun for quick sessions. High score, 2,490. And Star Trek the Motion Picture. The last game I had as a kid. Notice a trend here? I think this is the only licensed game on the system. Fight Klingon and Romulan warships, refill your shields and torpedoes by locking onto your space station, and warp through the black hole to reach the enemy Klingon mothership and destroy it. Here's a tip. On the start screen, if you change the game number, it changes the level that the black hole shows up on. Set it to a higher level, then when you defeat the Klingon mothership, it takes you back to level 1. It'll help you get a higher score. High score, 171,800. I'm incredibly sorry for this wall. I don't expect everything to be read. I just get passionate as hell about this system. Well, tough binozos. I read all of it, Genix. Haha.
That's right. Cling on to your mothership.
Oh, dang.
No, I love that we have people as passionate about this particular console. Like, it's one of the interesting things, I think, doing this show over the last fucking 11 years or whatever that we've done it, right? Of when you hit on that thing that is somebody's whole fucking world, you know? And for me, I'm sitting here, not that I'm poo-pooing it by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm like, I just don't have nostalgia for it. And I tried to play it on the computer. It's just not the thing. And for Genix, it's like, this is my, like, an identifiable fucking core piece of his identity. And I fucking love that about this hobby, right? Like, it's just such a fascinating little piece of this. It's really fucking cool.
I hard agree. All right, you're up.
So there's a bunch of back and forth in there until we get to RC Mets. Number 1, Berserk. If it's on a system, it's on my list. One of my favorite games ever, and a good version of it too. I do like how the walls show they are electrified every so often by blinking. Or maybe it's the emulation. I do feel like Mr. Kill You Smiley Face, Evil Otto, I know the name, just find it funny how it's a smiley face, comes a little quick though. Would like a little more time. Number 2, Mindstorm. I'm guessing this is Vectrex Asteroids. Enjoyed playing it. Number 3, Ripoff. Reminds me of a combination of Asteroids and Defender, as it is a single screen with things coming in at you, but they are trying to steal your boxes. No manual, so no idea what they are supposed to be, and you need to protect them. Number 4, Scramble. They did a very good job putting this on Vectrex. Still feel the same as Scramble and plays really well. Yeah, I mean, it's Scramble. Number 5, Web Wars. Reminds me of an early Tempest. You have the grid that you blow things up on, and if certain things reach the end, watch out, they will try and kill you. Mine will probably be a lot different than some, but I am emulating them and not sure if it's totally accurate. More of a 2D type of person when it comes to shooters. Games like Starhawk, Star Trek, I can play, but they are rough on me real quick and get frustrated with those types of games. Yet 2D and 3D in Bunny Rabbit Ears, Tempest type games, I love. Yeah, I think you're in the same position I'm in, Mr. RC Mets, right? Like, the emulation, it's just not the same. Chronodin then responded with, fuck you guys, I don't do what you tell me, which I thought was a very bold way of...
That's it for lists. There's some more back and forth, but I'm not seeing any other lists. Yeah, no, that's it for lists.
Well, we did get Scion Storm a little later. The Star Trek game 5 times. It's the only one I've ever played.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
Which is, in fact, a list. It is.
It is. Oh, and Chronodin says, my top 5 are whatever Genix said. That's the correct answer.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, well, this was a hoot. This was great. I love playing the Vectrex, and I can't wait to get started on... NES. That's going to be a very interesting one. But with that,
do you want to like
ourselves?
Do you want to hold off and like try to pick our top 5 like favorite or the top 5 best Tiger handhelds?
Absolutely.
Please
not.
say you don't want to do that, because I don't want to do that.
No, absolutely not. No, thank you.
Okay. So
right. We're gonna.
NES is next.
Before Dan comes up with any more terrible ideas, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we are going to check in with Week Old News. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. Hi, everyone. Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least two of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
All right, everybody, we are back. And the Phillies just got a home run. That was wild. The Pirates just changed pictures. And then Kyle Schwarber just, I think on the first pitch, hit a 2-run home run.
That's what you want.
It's a close game. It's an interesting game. Like, it looks like the Pirates will run away from it, but it's 8-5. It's the 7th. It's still possible. There's still baseball to play. But anyway, we're not here to talk about baseball. We don't need to calm any hypothetical erections right now. We don't need to talk baseball. We're here to talk about video games. And we're going to talk about the things that have been going on in the world. So it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap yourselves in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. And first up in our industry business and legal section, Push Square reports, quote, "Your proposal is neither credible nor attractive. eBay rejects GameStop's unsolicited acquisition." Boy, oh boy. So eBay was just like, ew.
Just ew. Ew, guys. We're breaking up.
GameStop, which is worth around $12 billion, had proposed an acquisition that would consist of a half-stock, half-cash deal valued at $125 per eBay share. Presser laid out 5 reasons why eBay believes the $56 billion acquisition is a non-starter as follows. 1. eBay's standalone prospects. 2. The uncertainty regarding your financial proposal. 3. The impact of your proposal on eBay's long-term growth and profitability. 4. The leverage, operational risks, and leadership structure of a combined entity. 5. The resulting implications of these factors on valuation. And 6. GameStop's governance and executive incentives. In other words, fuck all the way off.
In other words,
GameStop.
Eat a dick.
You can't do this. You can't. After the absolute shit show that was last... Yeah, but,
It's going to happen. I don't know why it's going to happen, but it's definitely going to happen.
I think there's a better chance of eBay saying, fuck it, I'm going to buy GameStop now.
Maybe?
And that, I would be all for sure. Why the hell not? Let's do it. eBay buys GameStop. I love it. That would be great.
I mean...
I don't think there's any way that GameStop could possibly come up with the money to make this work. But I'm not a millionaire, so what the hell do I know? Clearly nothing of value.
Yeah. I don't fucking know. Nintendo Life reports the live-action Zelda movie has a new worldwide release date. April is the new May. Breaking news, Nintendo has announced it's changing the release date of the Legend of Zelda live-action movie. In a new announcement via the mobile app Nintendo Today and Nintendo social media page, it's been revealed the film will now arrive worldwide in cinemas on April 30th of 2027. Shigeru Miyamoto had the following to say. This is Miyamoto. That's it. That's all he said. It's like, all right, thanks, Shigeru. No, I would like to let you know that the worldwide theatrical release date for the live-action film The Legend of Zelda has been moved up to April 30th from May 7th. The team is working hard to deliver the film to everyone as soon as possible. There's less than a year to go until release, so thank you for waiting. Man, I'm nervous about this one.
Yep, me too. Very me too.
I'm not as nervous about...
Hashtag me too.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's what that's for. I'm pretty sure. And I don't think you're allowed to take that one back, Kris. I know... Look,
very much not.
as a straight white male, you are allowed to do most everything you want. But co-opting the hashtag #MeToo movement, don't believe is one of those things. I'm more nervous for the Masters of the Universe movie than I am for The Legend of Zelda, because I care more. But I'm pretty fucking nervous for this. I'm pretty fucking nervous. I want it to be just the best movie ever made. Like, I don't want this to be good. I want this to be just an absolutely incredible movie.
I want it to be legitimately great. I think that would be amazing. But I have no idea what to expect out of it. I really don't.
Yeah.
My guests are flabbered. I got nothing.
Yeah, I just don't know because like with the Super Mario Brothers movie, like, it's animated. I always thought that it was going to be good, right? Like, I do not expect the Super Mario Brothers movie to be like, well, you know, there's the Studio Ghibli tier, and then there's the Super Mario Brothers movie tier. Like, I'm not expecting it to be up on that level. You know,
the source material does not have that degree of emotional resonance. You know,
it just doesn't.
It's just not part of the Super Mario DNA. And if it did, it wouldn't be a good Super Mario Brothers movie. Like, I stand by the notion that if the Super Mario Brothers movie was a better movie, it would be less true to the source material. Like, it's gotta be fluff. It's gotta be fun, beautiful fluff. That's what Super Mario games are. Like, there's content there, but like, that content is the gameplay. When translating that to a narrative, like, it's got to be fun, it's got to be beautiful, it's got to be funny, but like, emotional, like real good film, like cinema. I just don't think you should do that with the Mario property. I mean, you could, and I'm sure it could be a good thing, but it would also kind of intrinsically betray the source material. Zelda's different. It's a very different vibe because it is fun and goofy and weird, but it is also, it's Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, you know, like,
right.
Zelda is so many things. When you're doing it in live action, it really depends on what they're adapting, how they're adapting it, where they're pulling things from, like, how goofy are they going to go with it, how true to the source material can they really be, and which source material are they going to be, you know, true to, because there's so many different, very different flavors of Legend of Zelda. But I am choosing that. Look, you can say what you want about the Mario movies, but you cannot say that they both haven't been made without an extraordinary amount of care.
Oh, absolutely.
So, with that in mind, I have reasonably, like, I'm cautiously optimistic about the Zelda movie, because there's no way Nintendo is not taking the same amount of care in making this movie as they were with the Mario movies. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Because like, this kind of stuff can also backfire, because you can't say that Metroid Other M wasn't made without an awful lot of care. That was the director's vision of that game, and it was dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
Gameplay's a lot of fun, but the story was absolute fucking garbage. And that was the intent. Like, that, they thought that was good. So
yeah,
it's there's a lot to be nervous about. There's a lot to be scared about. And just like the Masters of the Universe movie, we were talking about that before the show. There is a lot to be nervous about there. It could go horribly, horribly awry. They don't need to have that whole regular Earth aspect in there. But they do.
They do not.
Let's hope that they handle it well. Let's hope they handle it well.
Boy, I hope so.
Time extension reports. Lost Rampage Atari Lynx's predecessor Monster Demolition discovered in recent preservation haul. This is super cool. I love Rampage. And the Lynx version of Rampage has always been of a very specific fascination to me ever since I picked up a copy of it and held the box in my hand at Electronics Boutique in the Hamilton Mall and looked at it and said, this one's got a fourth monster. Rat. What the hell?
And he's cool.
I don't know why that blew my mind. this one was 4 players. I didn't have a link, so I didn't buy it because I didn't have links. What the fuck was I going to buy it for? But yeah, there was a fourth character. But anyway, so apparently there was a haul of stuff that was recovered, and the games that weren't website reported on. Let's see, the haul was preserved thanks to the efforts of Marty Goldberg, Mike Lee, Tempest, and Dutchman 2000 over on the Atari Age forums, and includes, among many other things, Monster Depilation. This is a game that seems to have originally been intended as a new spin on the arcade title Rampage, but that was eventually canceled in favor of an actual port. So there's some gameplay footage here that they posted on, I want to say it looks like Twitter, and this game looks weird. It kind of looks fun.
It does.
Like, you are just absolutely fucking enormous. You take up most of the screen. It's one of the cool things that the Lynx was really good at, is that kind of like scaling big stuff. And like the more damage you take, the smaller you get. And it looks like you're just walking through a neighborhood and just trashing houses that people actively live in. It's kind of fucked up. But it's really cool. I understand why this got canned in favor of a proper port of Rampage, but the fact that this has been preserved is just wonderful. I love it when that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really cool. I fucking love Rampage to itty bitty pieces. Like, it's one of the few games that, like, I played a lot with my grandmother when she would take me to Showbiz Pizza. Like, it was just like, it was a thing we did. This just looks really cool. I love this kind of shit. Very, very cool. I did just add this story though, because I just saw that it was here, and I got really fucking excited.
I heard about this.
What's that?
I heard about this. This was a VR game, right?
Right, so Gematsu reports that Moss, the Forgotten Relic, announced for PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, Switch, and PC, due out this summer. Polyarch has announced that Moss, the Forgotten Relic, a fantasy adventure game that combines the stories of the formerly, I'm adding that because it would have to be, virtual reality exclusive games Moss and Moss Book 2 will launch for all of the systems and PC this summer. It has a bunch of enhanced features. It's got a reimagined camera. It's got all of the DLC. It's got an accessibility option to skip combat for people who were just trying to get into the story. Look, this was there have not been very many games that were like, man, this really makes a PSVR fucking awesome and worth the money. Moss was one of them, though. Such a cool and clever and adorable little adventure game that had just a lot of really cool features. But it always felt like, man, if you could just tweak it a little bit and get this game out to a bigger audience, that would be awesome, because it's such a lovely little story. You know, and it's just the main character is just so charming, and it's so cute and fun, and I love everything about this. And the fact that it's coming to everything now, I'm so fucking excited. This is great, and it combines all the games. These are wonderful, wonderful little titles, and man, I am super fucking excited that everybody will get to play this. This is fucking great.
Yeah, these looked pretty cool. I remember seeing trailers for this on VR and then being sad that it was only on VR. So the fact that these are not going to be trapped on VR anymore, I think is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, this seems like something you would love, I think.
One way to find out.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I'm going to take these next two.
Yes.
Something that happened this week in my house. John is a huge fan of Subnautica. Mm-hmm. He has been absolutely frothing with excitement for Subnautica 2. When I told him that he could preload it, because he didn't realize that was a thing. Like, he could preload it on his computer, and like it would just be there when he got home from school on Thursday when the game came out. He was out of his mind.
Yeah.
So he's been very excited for Subnautica 2. He's been playing it not as much as I expected because it scared him. Apparently, the game is legitimately frightening, and he got scared the first time he played. He was like, "Wow, that was really scary." But he has some big plans to put some major time into it this weekend, and he is very much looking forward to it.
I mean, that's kind of awesome, though, right? Like
awesome.
that it scared him that much. That's super cool.
That was not a complaint. He is really excited about it. He can't wait to see what else the game has in store. It's in early access now, and this is his first game that he's playing in early access. And yeah, so Subnautica 2 is IGN reports Subnautica 2 is already making waves, selling 2 million copies in just 12 hours.
Wow.
Which is a pretty impressive.
Jesus.
I had a story before where it sold 1 million copies in its first hour, and then later I found that it made it all the way up to 2 million within 12 hours, which is bananas. It had, let's see, peak concurrent players across all platforms. Subnautica 2 launched on PC via Steam and the Epic Game Store and Xbox Series X and X. Exceeded 651,000, with Steam alone reaching a peak of more than 467,000 concurrent players. That's nearly 9 times the all-time peak concurrent player count for the original Subnautica, which launched in 2018, Unknown Worlds said. So clearly this game's off to a big start. Like, I knew Subnautica was a big deal, but I didn't realize until recently just how huge Subnautica was. And I'm really happy for John that he gets to be involved in all this. Now, the other piece of this that has been bringing me joy, before the game came out, it leaked. There was a pirated copy that leaked online, which we heard about via various news stories. Yeah. But IGN reports Subnautica 2 user outs themselves as having pirated the game after contacting the developer for support. The owner of a leaked copy of Subnautica 2 appears to have accidentally revealed themselves after contacting the game's developer for support. At the time, developer Unknown Worlds acknowledged in a statement to IGN that leaked copies were now being downloaded, though cautioned that these were, quote, incomplete development versions that do not reflect the content or gameplay experience being prepared for the official release. It's unclear exactly what the issue the leaked copy owner contacted Unknown Worlds about, but it seems clear enough that they were trying to play an incomplete version of the game, and a staff member quickly wised up. It took some doing, but this guy self-reported. Unknown Worlds developer Anthony Caligo said to the user via the game's official Discord, "Thanks for pirating a game that I've spent years working on. I'm disappointed that you do that when it's kind of how we make our living. I hope you rethink your life choices." What's fun, though, is that he continued on to say, just to be clear, pirates are going to do their thing. We were all kids once. Money and the economy is very hard. I get it. It wasn't the piracy that bothered me. It was the people that flagrantly walked in here and wagged it in the faces of people who were waiting to play legitimately. That was the part that aggravated me. I understand and thank you for supporting the studio ultimately. I cannot condone piracy, but I get why people do. I would much rather people buy the game, try it for an hour, and return it than go play it illicitly. I can respect that. I really respect that position.
I do too.
That was I'm glad that he continued to talk. But yeah, the leaks don't seem to have hurt the sales very much, if at all. The game is performing magnificently, and that makes me very happy. And I'm happy for John because he's been playing the original Subnautica for ages, and he gets to be here as this game continues to develop. While it's in early access. And I hope it all goes swimmingly.
I mean, but it also goes to show too, like, we go back and forth all the time about game prices and what games are worth and this, that, and the third. And here's this game selling 2 million copies in 12 hours because it's $30.
Yeah, it's $30.
It's a $30 game. Like, there is a world in where you don't have to sell games at $80.
Correct, yeah. I mean, we were just talking about the Star Fox game. It certainly looks like they didn't skimp on the effort put into that game, and they're selling it for, what was it, $60?
I thought it was it 50 digital and 60.
Yeah. 60 physical. That's great.
Like this,
more like that, please, and even go lower, like this with Subnautica 2, $30. Sell a shitload more games when you price them at a lower price point.
Yeah, I mean, you
know, obviously you don't want to undervalue it, right? You want to make sure that you're making your money back, but like, let's not go overboard. You know, let's hit that middle ground. Because games used to like have that kind of spread to them, you know? You used to be able to get games for less than $1 bajillion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you definitely still can, like on Steam and that sort of thing and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different conversation. 5 more titles. Now,
why don't you let me take this one?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, like...
Let me take this one. You take the Sega one. I'll take this one.
Okay.
So, Go Nintendo reports. 5 more titles are now available in the Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics. That's right. We knew they were coming. We just didn't know when, and then they just dropped, because that's what they do. We got Jack Brothers, Vertical Force, Space Invaders Virtual Collection, Virtual Bowling, and V Tetris. I played some of these, and I will talk about them in the checkpoint. I am glad that these are here. I was really hoping that we would get an update that said, hey, it's okay, you can play this on your TV now. But unfortunately, that did not happen. So I had to bust out the old goggles again and press it up against my face and actually play one game that I had never played before. Which one is it? You'll find out.
Jack Brothers is the super expensive one, right?
Yes, Jack Brothers is super expensive. And it's a pretty fun game. I actually didn't even mess around with it because I've played plenty of that game before.
Yeah.
That and Vertical Force I know very well. The Japanese ones, though, I know a little bit less.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there.
Any hoozles. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Tease.
Little teaser for the future. Something
little
to entice the listeners
tickle.
to keep listening.
Little tickle. IGN reports that Sega cancels mysterious Super Game 5 years after it was announced. Amid pullback from underperforming free-to-play, Sega has confirmed it has canceled its mysterious Super Game as part of a company-wide pullback from free-to-play following weak sales. Sega's Super Game was never made entirely clear, although Sega had said it was due out by the end of March 2026. We are now in May of 2026, so I guess it didn't happen. Yeah, like, look, free to play shit. No, stop it. Make games, sell them for a reasonable price. People will buy them. Live service, free to play, loot box shit, like. Stop it. It's just not the fucking... Like, it... I know that there is some success of it on consoles, obviously. But trying to turn everything into a live service or a free-to-play thing with microtransactions and whatever is just... It's just a wild fucking idea. Like, what were you doing? What was this going to be? What was the God of War live service game going to be? Like, what are we even doing any longer? You know?
It wasn't going to be something that the God of War audience really wanted.
No, it wasn't. And like this... Like, we never... nothing ever came with this. It was announced in 2021. It was part of a long-term initiative that involved a new first-person shooter that has not come out. What it involved was a lot of buzzwords and a lot of CEOs being like, well, money. Yes, please. When all you have to do, Sega, here's really all you have to do. Streets of Rage 4 is fucking great. Shinobi is fucking great. I don't know, Golden Axe, Alex Kidd.
What were the other ones that they announced? It was, because they announced that there was, like, 5 of them, right? It was, Shinobi, Jet Set Radio,
Virtual
Streets
Fighter,
of Rage,
Crazy Taxi. Yeah, like just do your Sega thing. Do your weird.
And that's what they are doing.
Sega
and that's
thing.
what makes me happy. That
stay
they're like,
there.
you know what?
Yeah.
This has been working out well. We're going to keep doing this.
Yeah. Do that.
And it has been working out well. I didn't think that new Streets of Rage game looked great, but that we're following up Streets of Rage 4, which was freaking phenomenal. So
right.
I don't know. We'll see. Give them the benefit of the doubt. This story is a weird one. I don't really know what to make of this one. So, Time Extension reports, thanks for destroying your own legacy. Quarter century of online gaming history vanishes as digital press forum goes dark. This headline seems a lot worse than I think it is. Mm-hmm. Maybe? So, apparently, like, there was a miscommunication between Joe Santulli and this guy Kevin who was running it. And like the whole digital press forum, which was this amazing, it went back for years and years and years and years and years. So let's see, and it just disappeared because Joe didn't want to pay for it anymore. As Robinson explains, Joe had written to me during April 2nd, stating his intention of destroying the forum server to save $42 a month. He wished for me to be the first to know. Joe then assumed that I had read the missive. He didn't wait for confirmation nor affirmation. Only after I began sending messages in reaction to the server being offline did Joe send further communiques, seemingly as surprised as I was in my own regard. Everything was already destroyed. All that was online only was lost. Whilst this is not the situation most of us wished for, it is nonetheless the current situation. The forum was intentionally taken offline starting about Sunday, April 5th, 2026 by Joe Santulli. Joe has decided that the $1.40 per day for hosting the forum at the World Wide Web was too much of a financial toll. He told the web host, DigitalOcean, to immediately alleviate him of his financial burden by destroying the virtual server during that time this April. Joe had been wanting to take the forum permanently offline for years, going back to about 2010, thanks to hosting costs and technical difficulties piling up with the DPRR. However, it was thanks to calls from dedicated fans of the forum with its wealth of valuable information, the priceless community, the wonderful people, the traditions, the silliness, and the good times past and present that a dedicated team of which I, NZ17, was proud to be a part. Keep the forum online and active all these years with Joe's generous acquiescence and cooperation. So this seems pretty nasty, but there's also a big old blog post on Digital Press where he gives Joe his fair credit. Like, I haven't spoken to him in years, but I know Joe a little bit. I used to go to the physical Digital Press store all the time. Right. And he says here in the blog post, to be fair, Joe did pay thousands of dollars during the decades to continually host the DPRR forum while it was online. It seems like it was just a big fat ball of miscommunication between the two of them. Also, from this blog post, it does seem that
Isn't it always?
Yeah. Everything up to, let's see, nonetheless, thanks to the sudden abrupt discontinuation of message board hosting, all data after March 22nd was lost. So it does seem like there is a backup of everything in existence, except for after March 22nd. Which, all things considered, that could be a whole hell of a lot worse.
Yeah.
I don't know where this is or how it's going to get, preserved or put back up on the internet, because it is a very valuable source of information for lots of retro gaming stuff. Like, a lot of the research I do will often take me to the Digital Press forums. Right. But, so not having access to that anymore would certainly be not great, but at least knowing that it's backed up somewhere. Let's see, there are several backup copies of the DPR message board's database. The most recent of these was from Sunday, March 22nd. Everything from after that day was unfortunately lost. Options are being investigated for bringing the forum back to the internet in some form or other, whether continuing as an active online community with fresh threads and replies, or at least as an archive of posts preserved on the web somewhere, preferably mirrored across several sites. So, yeah, that sucks. That sucks all around, but I'm glad that some form of this still exists somewhere in the universe, and I hope that somebody can figure out how to get it back online. because it does seem like a pretty important resource to be lost. But yeah.
Well, and it's just one of those things, right, where somebody has to pay for all that shit, and the bigger it gets, the more expensive it is.
Yeah, and
shit's not fucking free, and I think a lot of times we, because things happen, and then the internet, the outrage fucking, is the first thing that always comes, these motherfuckers, well, it's but he was just doing that, and now he's not.
And Joe has done a ton of stuff over the years. I mean, Joe was involved in opening up the museum in Texas. Joe's been involved in this stuff for a very, very long time, and he's put a lot of his personal everything into it. So he doesn't want to do it anymore. And he did try reaching out about it. So he's like, look, I'm going to nuke this thing. Somebody better do something. And then, he ran out of the ability to do something. So it does suck that
it sucks.
Small of an investment, but also I don't know what Joe's financial situation is these days. I know that if I had another $30 some odd month bill for something that wasn't exactly bringing me joy, I would probably want to alleviate myself of that as well. So
yeah,
it's a sucky situation all around.
We legit live in a world where, we always have. It's just more prevalent now because I think it's affecting more people now. But yeah, most of us live paycheck to paycheck, and those paychecks, well, they just have to stretch a little bit further than they used to.
Everything else is getting more expensive, but the paychecks aren't. The paychecks are staying exactly the same.
They just are simply not keeping up. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I do not want to read the next two stories. Because I know myself. Okay. I know me.
All right, I'll try to keep this pretty simple. There was a man in the Strange and Unusual department. A man was arrested, according to Go Nintendo, for threatening to blow up Nintendo's headquarters. The 27-year-old Japanese man was arrested for sending threatening letters to Nintendo saying that he was going to blow you all up, while also claiming that he had planted multiple bombs in and around Nintendo's offices. Thankfully, no one was harmed, and when police searched the area, they didn't find anything of concern. There's no motive known at this time. Just a dude wanted to blow up Nintendo. People are nuts. Speaking of people being nuts, this one actually came to me via my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law texted me hey, did you hear about this? And I actually hadn't. This hadn't shown up in any of my video game news sites that I follow. So there's this a group called Secret Handshake. Apparently they're an activist group, and they had somebody made themselves. I don't know who's behind it, but they made an arcade game called Operation Epic Furious, which is basically a takedown of the current U.S. government in very, very funny video game form. I haven't tried it yet, but I've seen some video of it, and it is... it appears to be at least the game does appear to be well made. It's it's a little indie game. It's a top-down situation where you can there's a scene where Trump is walking through his office and a menu shows up, and your two options are order a Diet Coke or invade Iran. It's really something. There's a turn-based battle where Trump is fighting against a low-flow shower head. Golden toilets are involved. It's certainly the political leanings of the people who made this are not a mystery. So, it's pretty wild. I'd like to give it a shot. It's called Operation Epic Furious Straight to Hell. Straight as in Strait of Hormuz. This is certainly a thing that exists. I think it's personally pretty funny. And, yeah, that's as far as we're going to talk about it. But it is video game news, so I figured I'd put it in there. That's what she said.
I forgot to mention this one, but I did want to mention this. Engadget reports, and as did everywhere else, with the debacle of the Steam controller that we talked about last week. There is a super fun Easter egg in the new official Steam controller, Chris. I don't know if you've heard about this. I assume you would have put this in there if you had. If you drop your Steam controller, apparently, there are YouTube videos of this. I do not have one. I cannot confirm, but there are YouTube videos of this. If you drop your Steam controller, it will do a Willem scream when it lands.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. So just to let everybody know where my brain just went to, the Phillies game, we are still down 8-5. There's one out. The bases are loaded, and Kyle Schwarber just got up to a plate.
Ooh. Love that.
I
will take the last story, though.
Doing a lot of talking.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this last news story is really, I think this is the megaton. This is the big bomb. This is the biggest story, I think, of them all.
Time Extension reports a first-of-its-kind collaboration. You can now own Sonic, Dreamcast, and Genesis office chairs. Sega has teamed up with chainmaker Branch to create a range of chairs based on its properties. As reported by Retro Dodo, Branch has produced its popular Ergonomic Chair Pro in Sonic, $569 goddamn dollars, Dreamcast and Genesis, $629 goddamn dollar editions. Each seat has, basically fuck all to do with any of the properties. Has 14 points of adjustment and features a fucking physics-breaking 5D armrest.
What does that mean?
Nothing. It means fucking nothing. It means nothing. The height and depth adjustable lumbar support is completely removable, and you control seat height and depth, tilt, tension, and forward seat tilt. The headrest... Oh, now, hold on. I didn't read all the way through this story. I take it all the fuck back. The headrest has 2-axis adjustment.
Oh, my God.
So actually, Chris, you might actually be losing money if you don't buy one of these things.
I feel poor currently. Or not.
The reason the Sonic seat is cheaper is because it uses performance mesh, while the Genesis and Dreamcast variants use vegan leather. Look, if you have the money to drop $630 on a Dreamcast or Genesis themed ergonomic chair, 2 things. 1, fuck you. 2, good for you, I suppose. But mostly fuck you. Like, come on, man. What the fuck? This is absurd. This is what I love too.
The Genesis one looks kind of cool.
No, it doesn't. It's a black and orange chair, Chris. It doesn't fucking look cool.
It looks kind of cool. Black and orange is a good combo, I guess. The Sonic one's hideous. The Dreamcast
it looks cool.
Okay.
But it's not a Genesis. I don't know. It's not a Genesis chair. It's not. It's just a black and orange chair. What I love in particular is this little bit of the story right here. The Ergonomic Chair Pro Sega Edition is a first-of-its-kind collaboration that blends years of ergonomic research with the iconic Sonic the Hedgehog character and classic gaming consoles that defined a generation, says Branch. Built for your work days and game nights, but inspired by something much bigger. Like, fuck off. Just...
How very self-important.
Fuck directly the fuck off. So the Sonic one, the armrests are like red and yellow. That's fine. It's blue. The mesh is blue. The Genesis one, it's just a black chair. It's a black chair. Have you seen a black chair before, Chris? Because now you've seen this one.
We just tied it up.
And very sexy. The Dreamcast one is a white chair. It does have
at least that one looks Dreamcasty, right? It's got the Dreamcast logo, the bracket is orange, so like I can see the Dreamcast theme in that, you know?
The wheels are the buttons, so that's fine.
Yeah, again, I can see the Dreamcast in that one.
I'm just angry. I'm angry I don't have one. Now, all of this said, Chris, Branch, if you're listening and you would like to send us your fucking absurdly priced go fuck yourself chair, we'll happily... I'll sit here every week and be like, huh? We sold out. And I'll like lean over and point to it. It's totally fine. I do have a price. I had slut cancer. It's not a very high price. I am a sure thing. I am a cheap date. I am like, what? Yes, I'm in. That sounds like fun. $630 fucking pre-order. And I mean, if you would like to, you can add the $134 woven chair mat. A $134 woven chair mat. It's a fucking rug. It's a rug. Say it. Fucking woven chair mat. Weave your mom's chair mat. Fuck you. So.
Well, okay.
Why do you make me read this shit? I have to take out all my anger in this story.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing. Okay, well, we're gonna... That's it. That wraps things up for Week Old News. That's all the Week Old News we've got. And that means it's time for us to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we're going to check in with Checkpoint. Talk about what we've been doing, what we've been playing. You're listening to the Stoner Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
Fucking $630 for a chair. We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Do you miss the days when you'd get a fresh issue of Nintendo Power in the mail every month? It was stacked with reviews, previews, and all manner of cool new stuff about the world of Nintendo, and it even came with a free poster. Well, you don't have to miss those days anymore because Nintendo Force is here. Functioning as a spiritual successor to Nintendo's classic magazine, Nintendo Force is staffed with top-notch writing talent, and me for some reason, to deliver fresh new reviews, previews, and more right to your door every other month. And yes, posters are still included, except ours are double-sided. So if you want the thrill of learning all about the world of Nintendo in physical format, head on over to NintendoForceMagazine.com and learn all about it. Nintendo Force Magazine, the force of Nintendo fans. All right, everybody, we're back. We have returned. We're back and better than ever. That's what I always say.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a
You're not wrong.
that I'd always say. Anyways, you said you didn't have much to talk. It's time for us to talk check-in with the Checkpoint.
Checkpoint!
This is where Dan and I talk about the things that have been going on in our lives, the games we've been playing, the things we've been doing, etc., etc., etc. Dan, you said you didn't have much to talk about, so why don't you go first, and then I'll dive into the various things that I have discussed.
I really didn't spend a whole lot of time gaming this week outside of Earthbound, which we're playing for the Super Series, but I can't talk about that yet because it's not time to talk about it yet. But I'm chipping away. I'm making my way through. Really, the only other things I did outside of Earthbound this week were finishing Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 7, which was This Inevitable Ruin. I finished that one yesterday or the day before. I didn't get it done in time to start Parade of Horribles the day it came out. Parade of Horribles Book 8 in Dungeon Crawler Carl came out on the 12th. But I have already, I finished Inevitable Ruin 2 days later, and then started Parade of Horribles. It's so fucking good. I love it so much. I want you to read it, Chris. I want everyone to read it. I just think Dungeon Crawler Carl is, man, it just consistently fucking lives up to the hype, and I just really love that about it. You know, like. Even the one book that I didn't enjoy as much, like my least favorite of the entire series so far, was still a fucking wonderful romp and just a wonderful story. And there were a couple things where I saw some people starting to talk about it because the book continues to get like more and more popular, right? Like the series is more and more popular, merch and all that stuff. And, you know, so like it's blowing up and more people are discovering it, which is great. And then there were some people that started talking about it of like, man, I think this this might be a pretty left-leaning book. I don't know about this. This seems pretty anti-capitalist and pretty it was like, yeah, Homelander's also the bad guy. Like, I don't know. None of this was fucking subtle. Like, it's not subtle, and it's okay. Like, if you don't like it, I'm not saying that you are wrong or that you should read this or any of those things. But, like, it doesn't have to go away because you don't like it. But Matt Dinneman was not trying to trick anybody. He was not at all subtle. He was hitting you over the head with the anti-capitalist message right from fucking jump. So, like, if you missed it, I don't know. I maybe you think that Star Wars is really just about space wizards.
Yeah, no, the Darth Vader's really cool.
Star Wars, or did you read my review for my 8-bit blockbusters this week? Because I also wrote my article. Star Wars. I described Top Gun as fly pew pew. That's how I described that movie, which I think is pretty accurate.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty good. It's a fucking dog shit movie outside of the fly pew pew. That part's fucking great, and then the rest of it is like, what are we doing? Guys, why are
the
we
beach
doing...
volleyball scene is pretty great. Come on.
I delivered zero commentary about the latent homoeroticism of Top Gun. It's all there. And again, not subtle at all.
It's not, no.
It's really not very subtle. But yeah, maybe you think Star Wars is about fly, fly, pew, pew, zoom. Maybe that's what you're into. But the rest of it's there. Regardless of that fact. Absolutely fucking phenomenal book series. Absolutely love it. I don't know what to do with my hands after I finish this next book. What do I do until the next one comes out, Chris? I'm going to have to read other books.
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going.
I'm going to have to masturbate with my hands now.
Idle hands spend time at the genitals.
They certainly do. And boy, am I going to have some... Mr. Dinneman, if you're watching, I know you're a big fan. If you don't want me to fucking court-martial the private, you, sir, need to deliver book 9. Now, it's fucking great. It's fucking great. We caught up. What do we do? We watched The Punisher thing. Well, I watched it. Tiff didn't even watch it this week. The Punisher One Last Kill. It was really violent.
It was very violent. Yeah,
it was just very violent.
It's what you want. That's kind of what we're here for.
It is. But I just I was watching it and I was like, this is just very violent for a Disney Plus show.
I don't know. Have you been watching Daredevil? Jesus Christ.
This is so much more violent than Daredevil. So much more violent than Daredevil. Yes.
I don't know. There's a whole lot of bones coming out of arms and stuff in Daredevil. I guess the duration of the violence was longer. But I don't know that the violence itself was more gruesome than what we had seen in Daredevil. I don't think I would go so far as to say that.
Maybe not.
I mean, a lot of it was just guns. Whereas, Daredevil was just I am going to physically break you with my hands.
That's much sexier. The guns are it's so much dirtier. I don't care for them. It was really... Bernthal just does... some really, really incredible work in that show, and
oh my god, yeah. What was the question? I was like, all right, so what the hell has the Punisher been up to since we saw him in Daredevil?
Yeah,
being crazy. Got it.
Yeah, just being crazy and
losing his fucking mind.
Yeah, and it's such an interesting
and doing bloody pull-ups.
Yes, well, that's how you have to do them to get a good pump. You need some blood. It delivered such a more interesting, nuanced take on the Punisher, right? Because there's always been more to the character than just guy who shoots bad guys.
Yes.
But man, this really, the scenes of Frank talking to his daughter out by her headstone.
Yeah, that was rough.
I mean, dude, I was legit, fucking rolling tears as I'm watching that. Bernthal does, such a good fucking job in that scene of being so fucking broken. Just absolutely devastatingly, damn near irreparably broken. It really pretty incredible and makes you feel for this character in a way that, I don't think any other portrayal of the Punisher has ever really gotten this level of empathy, right, across with Frank Castle. And it's just really incredible. I was really, really blown away by it. There's a scene with a dog really fucking upset me at the start of it. I was so fucking mad. I
wanted that guy to get very, very punished.
Yeah, he got off light.
He got off light. Death was too good for him.
It was. But, yeah, it was really good. So other than
my only complaint was that it ended, and I was just like, all right, well, when's the next episode? Because you didn't exactly tie up anything.
No, you started something.
You started something, and all right, so where's the rest of it? Because I don't think we're getting the rest of that specific story in Spider-Man.
No.
I don't think Who's the Boss is going to be in Spider-Man. Like, I don't think that's where we're going. So, like, I understand, like, we got Frank to where he is in the beginning of presumably the beginning of Spider-Man, right? When we've seen in the trailers, like, he's being the Punisher. He's out there doing his thing, but kind of like, he's got a new reason to do it, sort of. But there were some wheels put into motion here. When are they going to pay off?
There was at the very least... This should be a
season of TV.
Yeah, there at the very least, there was a movie put into motion, if not a full TV show. And I would certainly much rather this as a TV show than a movie, I think. I think Punisher, that particular story, like the Garth Ennis Punisher run, really, I think, works much better as a TV show. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens next. It was very good.
I do not think we are going to get this level of violence in the new Spider-Man show.
No.
Or in the new Spider-Man movie. I doubt it very much.
It would be pretty unsettling if we did.
Yeah. Spider-Man's just out there fucking mowing people down with an Uzi. Like, whoa, I don't know about this new Spider-Man. I don't care for it. Did we talk about the ending of Daredevil last week? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did either.
Yeah, we finished Daredevil. It was fucking brilliant. I don't know why people were not watching this season as much as last season. You were wrong if you weren't.
I think I honestly think it's got a lot to do with the online, for lack of a better term, haters, like whose entire personality seems to be based around hating this.
What was there to hate?
It's Disney. That's what there is to hate. It's Disney. That's the problem right there. It's Disney. Oh, it's the Disney. It's not as good as the Netflix stuff. It's this Disney stuff. It's not as good. It's just not as good. Like, okay, go back and rewatch Daredevil season 2 and tell me for sure that. Like, tell me all the hand stuff and Elektra stuff. Tell me the Defenders was better than this. Like, I understand hating Disney for the fun of hating Disney, but like, I don't know, man. This shit's been good. It's been more Daredevil. I've been enjoying it as much as was enjoying the Netflix stuff. Like,
yeah,
I do think it eventually needs to come to an end, but I don't think we're there yet. There's a lot more
to do. We've really only done
this one up.
Kingpin.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot more to do. Wrapping this one up the way that it did, like, I think there was some what's the word I was looking for? Like, some suspension of disbelief as far as like the details all coming together and the logistics of the way the show ended. But like, that was the most terrifying Fisk has ever been when he just starts killing people.
Yeah.
Just walking through the halls, murders left and right. And I don't know what that deal was that got him to end up on a beach at the end. Like, what deal did they cut? Like, because that deal was cut before the, like, 15, 16 bodies he left in his wake. Yeah. But I don't know how that got to stand. But,
well, I think it just speaks again to, like, I mean, depending on how far you want to, like, pull that out, right? Of, like, the rich and powerful get away with doing whatever the fuck they want. And like,
that's a good point.
A lot of, repercussions that regular people. Matt goes to jail, right? He's arguably a hero. He hasn't murdered. I mean, he's probably killed people. Like, if you watch the episodes, he hasn't directly, like, just shot people in the face or anything. But boy, does he
probably
hit
caused
them
some pretty serious harm that may have resulted in some deaths.
Yeah. But, like, he's ultimately a good guy who, spoilers, if you haven't seen it or literally read any of the comics, Matt Murdock ends up in jail and revealing himself as Daredevil. And it's following that comic book storyline, the Brian Michael Bendis into Ed Brubaker arc of Daredevil. and it was a fucking brilliant arc, right? But he's in jail and Fisk is on the beach.
Yeah.
You know?
So just so we're on the same page, that he's in Spider-Man, right? Like, the Hand is attacking the jail because they're out to kill Matt, and Spider-Man's going to team up with Daredevil to fight the Hand. Like
yeah, I mean, he absolutely...
That's what's happening in this movie, right?
Yeah. Why else... there is no other reason for the Hand to be in this movie other than, I think, for them to really properly bring Matt Murdock, Daredevil, into the MCU. He's going to be in Avengers. I would be shocked if he's not.
So.
I would be shocked if he's
Matt's
not in
already
there.
Matt has already been in the MCU proper, right?
Very good
Daredevil
lawyer.
hasn't, but Matt has been there. But yeah, this... boy, I'm excited. I am excited. I have a decent amount of excitement for what's coming.
Me too. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Marvel TV's been pretty solid. I mean, Wonder Man was fucking great.
Wonder Man was incredible. And
Wonder Man was fucking great.
And it's one of those things.
I rather enjoyed Ironheart, too. I enjoyed Ironheart more than I thought I was going to.
Right. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, but I liked it.
But it was pretty solid, especially considering I don't really know the character outside of I really did not care for Wakanda Forever, but she was one of my favorite things in it.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that I thought that she didn't belong in it at all. And I do think that her show would have been better had that just been it. Like, she didn't need to, even if she wasn't, even her, but barring her being in it, like, she could have been in it, but like also not built the Ironheart suit.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would have been a better situation if she hadn't built, like, if their show was where she first built the Ironheart suit. But I really enjoyed that show far more than I thought I did. It's now 11-8 Phillies.
Wow.
This is really cool.
That's awesome.
I can't believe that they're pulling this off right now in the 10th inning. Or, boy, I hope they can get out of this inning. I hope they can close it after this. I hope that they can that the Pirates don't just come right back, because this is a really it's 11-8 with one person on and no outs. This is going very well. But yes, Marvel TV I think has been really solid, and I've been very much enjoying it.
Yeah, it's
I also
really good.
Like Maul Shadow Lord. Apropos of nothing, the Darth Maul show is really fucking good. I can't remember if I talked about that at all, but
I really want to check that out. I haven't watched any of that. Yeah, it looks really good. And I did just want to mention there is a comic book that came out this week. It is called Godzilla versus Texas.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty great. Find it, buy it. It's pretty awesome.
How exactly is Texas standing up to Godzilla? That's what I want to know.
It's a lot, and it leans to a side you might think it does. It's just very funny. On like the third page, Godzilla pops up in Corpus Christi, like destroying the bridge that you drive over to head to the aquarium. And I know this because I lived in Corpus Christi, Texas for a little bit. So that was kind of weird. There's a podcast douche bro in it. It's pretty fun. He's got like, he's a fucking podcaster doing a Godzilla is not real podcast. It's fucking weird. It's weird. It's fun. I enjoyed it. Go to your local comic book store and pick up Godzilla versus Texas. Yeah. Yeah, go do that.
Okay.
It's a thing you should do.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Count me in. Godzilla versus, wasn't there another Godzilla crossover, like a Godzilla Power Rangers thing or something recently? Like,
oh yeah, there's been a whole fuck ton of Godzilla crossovers recently. He's just
like I remember reading something about a Godzilla crossover, but I didn't know about the Texas one. That's news to me.
I mean, I'm a cheap date and a sure thing. Godzilla's way worse than me. He's fucking everywhere, everything, just raw dog in the world. I love it.
Goodness gracious me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, there you go. That was my nothing much to talk about 40-minute. Off we go. Anyway.
Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah. So, I'll start with the story of my morning.
Oh.
So, I wake up this morning, and my friend Lisa, my gym buddy, she was like, shit, I forgot I got to take my kids' bikes over to them so they can ride their bikes to school. So I'm not going to be at the gym this morning. I said, okay. I slept a little weird last night. I've been having this issue with my arm, and I had heard it, basically gotten myself a case of tennis elbow from when I was shoveling all that snow, and it hasn't gotten any better. And I think I figured out why. It's because of the way I sleep on it. I tend to sleep on my side and kind of wrap myself in, and I keep waking up with my arm underneath me. So basically, while I'm sleeping, I'm pulling my elbow apart, all night long. So I think that's part of why I'm not healing. And also maybe a big part of why I'm not sleeping at night and why I keep waking up in the middle of the night, because I'm waking up from arm pain, like I'm hurting myself in my sleep.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I was like, you know what? Instead of going to the gym and doing any sort of lifting, I haven't gone for a run in a while. I'm going to make myself go for a run. So, I went out for a run. I did it again. I ran a 5K without walking at all. I was very proud of myself. And I finished it off by actually jogging to the gym. I sat in the sauna for a few minutes because I had a little extra time. And then I walked home and got ready to take the kids to school. Now, I got there at 7:05. Usually I'm home by 7, but it's a Friday. Karen's home. Neither of the kids have anything early to go to. So I got it 7:05. Yeah. Ellie's downstairs. Ellie's up in her bedroom. I hear the alarms going off. I go upstairs. I see Ellie. She's actually starting to get changed. And she was like, I want to ask John if he wants to ride bikes to school. If he wants to, is it okay with you? I'm like, I mean, it's okay by me. I don't know that he's going to want to do that.
Right.
But sure, you can ask him. We're already like a few minutes behind schedule. And if John is going to ride his bike to school, he's got to get his breakfast together, and get out the door pretty quick. Right. It seemed like an unlikely scenario.
Sure.
So, she asked him, he said no. Ellie comes downstairs crying. John never wants to do anything with me anymore. And I'm like, you guys were literally playing in the backyard for like an hour and a half 2 days ago. That's just not the case, kid. It's just not reality. He doesn't want to do this with you this morning because it would be a pain in the ass. He's got state testing this week. He just doesn't want to ride his bike.
This particular thing.
This particular thing is just not going to work out the way you wanted to. And that's just got to be okay. You can't make him do things that he doesn't want to do. He is not your plaything. What about the neighbors? The neighbor girls want to ride their bikes to school all the time. Have you asked Sienna if she wants to ride to school? And she was like, no, she probably can't. And I can't even get in touch with her because her iPad's dead. Her thing's broke and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
let me tell you all the reasons
on the
why.
Door? They're next door. There are options here. Stop focusing on the one thing you didn't get, and let's try to come up with some solutions. And I eventually said, I'll text their mom. Okay, do you want to walk next door and knock on the door, or do you want me to text their mom and ask if they want to go bike riding? Can you text Mr. Miranda? It's like, okay, sure. I don't care. So I texted her, and then she texted me back in a few minutes like, yeah, they're getting ready to leave now. They both want to ride their bikes to school. They'd love to ride with Ellie. Like, look at that. All worked out. Except Ellie's now behind schedule because she spent her morning freaking the fuck out about John not going and not thinking of solutions. And now she's a little behind schedule. So the girls come over while Ellie eats her breakfast, which she decided was 2 Eggo waffles covered in Nutella.
Love that for her.
So she's stressed out, and she's down in a whole bunch of Nutella. Okay, sure. That sounds like a great idea. Let's get on our bikes and rush to school. So go outside. I fix some of Sienna's bike a little bit, and then they get on their bikes, and they ride to school. John finishes up his breakfast. I give him a ride to school because, he's not riding his bike. And I drive by to make sure that Ellie's bike is there. She got there in one piece. She did. Everything's good. I drive home. Now I have, whenever I take John to school, I also have Hopper in the car with me because Hopper gets sad when I leave the house. So I take him with me whenever I bring the kids to school, and then we just go for a walk straight out of the car. We go, park in the driveway. He's got his leash on, and we just go for our morning walk after that. Take Hopper out for his walk. He's very excited this morning. He's pulling me harder than he has for a little bit. It made me real happy, but he really wanted to go this extra block from what we usually walk. Like, I'll usually go that extra block on the weekends when I have more time, but like usually when I got to get home to get back to work, I won't go. But he's walking extra fast, so I was like, sure, we'll go on this extra block. At the end of this extra block, this little gray dog and like an American flag bandana starts running up to us. Now, Hopper is very aggressive towards smaller dogs. He is a bully. And this dog is coming at us. So I'm like using all of my strength to keep Hopper in check as I realize this dog's not on a leash. This dog's just out.
This dog's around. Just out looking to fuck.
Exactly. This dog is just out. And, I get Hopper to back off a little bit, and this dog, like, starts running away. And I'm looking around like, there's no person nearby. There's also no doors open. This dog got out. Right. But I also have Hopper. So, like, there's nothing obvious nearby, but I also can't really do anything because I've got Hopper. So I hurry up and walk him home to the best of my ability as quick as I can. I hop in my car and drive back and look around, and I can't see the dog anymore. Like, before I left, I saw him run into the woods behind the row of houses that we were on. But I was kind of worried. It's like, this is a dog that got out. That's what this is. And I don't want this dog to get hit by a car or anything, right?
Yeah.
So I look around for a little bit. I walk through the woods a little bit, see if I can find him. He's no hide nor hair of him, so I assume he made it home, right? That's my hope. It's like, well, maybe he made his way back home. That would be nice.
Yeah.
So I get home, and Karen is on the phone with Ellie from the nurse's office. Big surprise, Ellie threw up when she got to school because she rushed to school on her bike after eating fucking Nutella-covered waffles for breakfast.
Yeah. And who let her do that?
Kids got to learn. Like,
you let her do it.
I let her do it. And I did it. I did that on purpose because the kids got to learn. I've told her that she needs to make better choices with her breakfasts. And if she doesn't, there's going to be consequences for it. She's got to learn. She's not going to make that mistake again. If she does, then that's on her, not on me.
That's fair.
So she's now feeling good. And my headphone's dying. Hold on, let me plug in my headphones. Hold on a second. Please hold while I do the thing. Plug in headphones that don't take batteries. Oh, good. They're all like tangled and shit. So
sweet.
That's going to take me a second. This is some high quality podcasting right here.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's exactly what you want.
Okay, I'm back. All right, so Ellie decides that she wants to come home from school, and I'm like, you know what? She hasn't had a mental health day in a good long while. She's a good kid. Yeah, I think she should have the day off. So sure, I'll go get her. So I hop in the car and I drive over to school to get Ellie. And as I'm driving to school, there on the side of the road is that fucking dog. I'm like, oh shit, there's the dog. So I pull over, I jump out of the car, and the dog starts like running over to this house. And so like the dog runs around the side of the house. So I go and knock on the door because I'm like, well, this must be where the dog lives. I knock on the door, but there's nobody home. So I come back out and I try to look for the dog, and he had turned the corner. So like I couldn't see him anymore. And I waited for somebody to answer the door. Like maybe there were just no cars in the driveway. Somebody lived there, but no, nobody showed up. But as I'm walking back to my car, the dog poked his head back around the corner, started looking at me. So I was like, hey little buddy, how you doing? I got down on my knee and started like waving to him, telling him to come over. And he looked at me for a second, and then he bolted right over to me, and he was so happy to see me. He's jumping up and down on me, and then like, trying to jump up and give me kisses, and like, all right, you're a good dog. So I'm looking at the collar. There's nothing on the collar. But clearly this is a dog that got out because it's got this nice American flag bandana around its neck. Right. So I'm like, all right, what are we doing here?
He didn't just pick that up.
Yeah. I'm petting the dog. We're having a good time. And I'm looking around and being like, okay, well, let's start knocking on some doors. I gotta figure this out. But as I'm doing that, the dog bolts. He just bolts straight away. Like, right, he's been super lovey-dovey, and then all of a sudden he bolts. And he bolts in front of this other house, turns around, starts barking. I'm like, you live here. Excellent. So I walk over, I give him a couple of pets. I'm like, is this where you're taking me? And he's looking at me like with his excited look in his eyes. So I pick him up and I knock on the door, and this nice old lady answers the door, and I'm like, is this your dog? She's like, oh my God, that is my dog. I heard him barking. I thought he was just in the backyard. I'm like, nah, he was running off by the street. He's been out here for like an hour. And so she was very thankful that I brought the dog back, and that made me feel real good. I rescued a dog, and then I drove over to the school, and I picked up Ellie, and she was really upset that like I had to take a break from my work day to come get her. And I was like, well, some good came of this. If it wasn't for me having to pick you up from school, I wouldn't have found that dog, and it's entirely possible that dog would have gotten lost. Like, yeah, this kind of worked out. It's pretty crazy to think that, but that is how that all worked out. That dog is safe at home because of you. Because of your poor
Lord
breakfast
works
choices.
in mysterious ways, Chris.
Yeah, it was pretty wacky. But that
great.
was my morning. I rescued a dog.
Fun. Yeah,
that was really cool.
That's outstanding.
So video games. Video games. I've had a pretty interesting week of games. I mean, let's talk Virtual Boy, right? Let's get that out of the way first.
Okay.
The two games that I put the time into today were V Tetris and Space Invaders. Now, I've played V Tetris before. It's been a while. I have the cartridge for V Tetris because the Virtual Boy is region free. V Tetris is a really cool version of Tetris. It's a pretty basic version of Tetris, except for this one specific mode that I believe is exclusive to this version of Tetris. I've never seen it anywhere else. And it's like, all right, have you played Pokemon Puzzle League by any chance?
I don't think so, but maybe.
It's powered upon an N64. All right, so it's like you've got this well, right? Mm-hmm. The Tetris well. You've got the Tetris well, but you can also move the pieces so they loop around. But it's not like it's actually on a round column. It's like if the piece goes off the side, it just shows up on this back layer. So it's like a rectangle that like shifts around like a conveyor belt, kind of.
Okay.
And like, so when you make a line, it's still within the confines of that well. You make a line, it still counts as a line, but you can continue to shift the pieces around. Like you can just shift the whole board around, like wrap it around to change what's down at the bottom. I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it. You got to like see it. It's really cool. It's a very cool mode of Tetris to play. So I spent a little time in there. But the one I hadn't played was Space Invaders. I had never played the Virtual Boy Space Invaders before, and you know what? It's Space Invaders. It is just fine. It's just Space Invaders.
I mean, Space Invaders is like, what do you do with Space Invaders?
Well, what you do with Space Invaders Virtual Boy is you do this. You turn it to a 3D perspective,
but it's still Space Invaders.
Yeah, exactly. It's still Space Invaders, but it's like that's what they did, and it's neat. It's a really neat trick, and it does require a little bit more aim, I guess, to make it work, right? Because once you get the farther, like the ones in the back row, you've really got to kind of aim to get them because they're farther away from you. Like you're not looking at a flat screen where you can just see the straight line. You've got to do it with depth. And that's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, you do. That's pretty cool, I guess. But ultimately it was just like, but it's still just Space Invaders. Like it's a neat trick, but it doesn't change anything to make it more interesting in Space Invaders. Not that Space Invaders needs to be more interesting.
Right.
There are more interesting versions of it that they've made over the years, but generally speaking, it's pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Well, all right then. That's awesome.
Yeah. Pretty happy with that. So good additions to the Virtual Boy library. I got assigned the review for Meetup at Bella Bell Park, the Super Mario Brothers Wonder DLC. So I've been spending a bunch of time in the last 2 days, really just trying to make it through the rest of that. it is still a joy to play, and I'll have a lot more to. I mean, I'll have a lot more to say about it. Like, I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going with this review. I think the game was a masterpiece to begin with. I think this almost completely solves the problems that I had with the regular version of the game. The boss battles continue to be an absolute joy. I just fought against Morton, which I lucked out because the badge that I was using gives me a high jump, which made that fight way easier than it was supposed to be. And it was still kind of challenging, but like if I didn't have that badge, this would have been a very challenging fight. And that's what I like about it. They're clever, they're interesting, they don't end like you hit them 3 times and it's over. Like, they're just good. They're well-designed boss battles, which is not something you see in 2D Mario games very often. Or in 3D Mario. It's just not something you see in a lot of the Mario games. Some of them do. There are some really cool boss battles in like the Mario Galaxy games and stuff. But in Mario Brothers Wonder, my biggest gripe was like the Bowser Jr. boss battles they were just fine. Like, they were okay. They looked neat, this is I guess. Fine. Yeah, but they were fine. They weren't creative. They were just like, okay, here is Bowser Jr. You can jump on him 3 times when he does these wonder tricks. Like, the gravity's weird or something, but it never got... The whole game is so brilliantly creative and colorful, and that just wasn't these boss battles. And then there were these, like, airship levels, which were really bland. So... Like, the levels themselves are great, but then you just get to this conveyor belt and you just got to push a button and get a couple of Mecha Koopas out of the way. Like, that was it. Like, that's how we're gonna cap these things off. Like, what is this?
It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It was no, those weren't fine. Those were just like big fat thumbs down. Phillies win, by the way. 10th inning, 11-9. Love it. That was amazing. That was an amazing comeback. What a good game. Yeah, but these new Koopa Kids ones are great because they are all creative. Like with the Wonder Powers, they make them into weird creative battles, and then they don't just end after a few things. They all have multiple phases where they bring new tricks into it. And like Morton Koopa turned into this gigantic marionette thing in the background where you had to like jump up and hit this one block, but like you had to like get these things that he would put in place in order to get to jump up on them. But like I said, I had this badge equipped where I could do a high jump, and I just happened to have that badge on all the time. If I didn't, that would have been way more difficult. But I love this. I do wish it was more solidly integrated into the game, like because those airship things are still there, and you do these Koopaling boss battles. They're optional, and they're kind of in the middle of each world instead of at the end. If they were forced to be at the end, like past the airships, it would structurally feel better. But then after you beat them, you go off to this place called Bella Bell Park, which is this side story thing. Like, it's weirdly not quite integrated the way that you'd want it to be, which is kind of a bummer. But all in all, it's a huge bucket of win. I think it's well worth the price of admission.
That's awesome.
I don't think I talked about this last week, but I think I talked about that it had happened. But I played a bunch more of it this week because I can't not. Arkanoid was released for the Arcade Archives, and the Nintendo Switch 2 version uses the mouse, and it's great. It sounds like it would be. It's Arcade Arkanoid with mouse controls. It's so fucking difficult. Because I often forget how hard the Arcade Arkanoid is, even with a spinner, even with a mouse. Like, I'm playing it at first and I'm like, man, I should be better at this with a mouse. But no, like, I remember playing this with a spinner and being like, no, I can't really get past level 2 even in the arcade with a spinner, because this game's just tough, especially level 2. Level 2 is so much harder than the levels that come after it. Yeah. Right? Original Arkanoid, that second level has got so many bricks because it's that triangle shaped one, and like the goal is you hit it over the side and you do a bunch of like ball bounces across the top. You can get the disruptor where it turns into 3 balls and bounces around, but even then the ball comes at you so fast. It's a really hard level to finish. And then level 3 is a relative like cakewalk. Level 4 is a little bit tough, but then you get to level 5, which is the Space Invader, and that level is super hard because it's all silver blocks which don't give you power-ups. There's like I think there's either 4 or 6 color blocks that can give you power-ups, and that's great. If you get the laser, bully for you, but still, there's so many silver blocks that it takes a ton of time to get through. That level's really hard. That's where I'm stuck right now, but God, I love Arkanoid. God, I love Arkanoid. And having an arcade perfect translation at home. Oh, so good. I really hope they put Arkanoid Do It Again on Switch Online. The Super Nintendo Arkanoid is so good, especially with the mouse controls. It's just fantastic. I was playing that with Matt when he came to visit me. We were playing a little bit of Arkanoid Do It Again. God, that game's fun. So that just leaves Indiana Jones, which was the game that I reviewed for our friends at I never remember the letters. RGTV, ZTGD, because there's a bunch of there's RGTV, there's something else with a Z in it. It's ZTGD is the site. I wrote a review for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on Switch 2. And I gotta say, I did not care for this game at all.
Has your review, it hasn't been published yet, right?
As of this recording, no. It should be posted. Maybe it's up by now. What's today? The 15th?
It's not. I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was my clever way of trying to make sure that you were allowed to say what you were about to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, either way, the embargo's up by the time this episode goes live. Right, the embargo was... Let me double check when it was /is. Where's the conversation? Where that information is? Go. Engage.
Fire.
Yesterday. The embargo was yesterday. So we're fine. Yeah, so I didn't like this game at all. So it opens up. All right, so I think I talked to you off camera a little bit about this last week.
Yes.
One of the.
It looks great. You definitely didn't.
Definitely didn't. It looks great on the Switch 2. Like the geometry and everything. Like the characters look just as good as they do on the other platforms. The big problem, technically speaking, that I had with it on Switch 2 was the amount of texture pop-in. Mm-hmm. This is also an issue on the other versions that, well, I can say on the Xbox version, because I watched a bunch of gameplay of the Xbox version. And it is still an issue there, but it's really minor. It's just exacerbated a whole lot on Switch 2, especially in the opening area where you're doing the opening to Raiders of the Lost Ark, and you're in this jungle. And first off, just the whole beginning of the game is just walking. I don't know why. We're just going to walk through the jungle. We're just going to walk through the jungle for a couple of minutes, solid. We're not opening with anything interesting, anything exciting, anything like that. You're just going to walk through the woods for a while. And I don't understand why. You know, you're walking through the woods, and there's all of this texture popping happening on all the leaves, and you keep running into these things that the game... All right, so I said this in the review. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle constantly reminds me of Metroid Prime and Uncharted, because it's a first-person adventure, like a Metroid Prime game, and there are some things that you do that are similar to Metroid Prime, like using your whip, but... The big difference there is when you use the grapple beam in Metroid Prime and any of the Prime games, even not in 3, like let's just say 4, right? When you use the grapple beam in Metroid Prime 4, it always feels good. They designed the game, there's not tactile stuff happening through the controller, but the act of doing it, the way it animates, the way the camera moves, it feels good to do that in Metroid Prime. When you do things in the Prime games, they put the effort in to make sure that what it is didn't just look cool, it was fun to do.
Yeah.
Everything in Indiana Jones...
Most of the time they nail it. Most of the time they get it right. Yeah.
Everything in Indiana Jones seems like they asked, is this cool? And never asked the question, is this fun? Because things like the combat, it's cool to do like to punch a big dude and hear the big meat slammer sound effect.
Yeah.
But it is never fun. Combat is never fun in this game. Every time I got into a fight, I felt like there was something the game wanted me to do that I just couldn't figure out. And I'd win a fight, and then I'd be like, all right, move a body somewhere. Okay, sure. Moving bodies was interesting in Metal Gear, but for some reason everything feels like a chore. When you do the whip to like whip on something and climb up, it just seems like a thing that's happening. It doesn't feel good or interesting to do. The way the characters move, every character, the way they move is so unbelievably unnatural. Like, you're doing these cinematic sequences in the beginning, and Marcus Brody is just like, I don't know, moving his arms or walking or swaying in some sort of really unnatural way. The way Indy's hands move in front of him when he's running, it doesn't look natural. Like, it
there's
seems
a
like
weird
it's supposed
trying to communicate that first person, but not a shoot, right? Like, you don't have the gun to like center yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't have like swords, and you don't have your whip out all the time. It so much seems so unnatural in the way everything moves. And then you've got the character faces. This game is going for this photorealistic thing, but the facial animations, like, when they're good, but because they're so close to photorealistic, every single part that's not good is so jarring. Yeah. And I really noticed this with Brody, and this is another one of those things I had heard so much about this game's attention to, like, this really feels like an Indiana Jones thing. Like, it's got the heart and soul of an Indiana Jones thing, just in a video game form. And if that was the case, the fact that the game, to me, was absolutely no fun at all to play, I would have been able to get past that if the whole thing felt like Indiana Jones. But what kept ripping me out was these little tiny things. And again, I didn't get super far into it because I had seen what I needed to see as far as, like, how does this game play? There is no amount of good story that's going to overshadow this, right? How far did you get?
I didn't even get out of the Vatican. I ran around the Vatican for a good long while, and then I watched a bunch of other cool stuff. I was like, okay, I see where this goes. This is cool, but it's not cool enough to get past what it feels like to play.
Yeah.
This is going to sound insane, but again, this is one of those attention to details that I cannot believe was overlooked to the extent that it ripped me out of it every single time. In the beginning, you do a lot of talking to Marcus Brody, and Marcus Brody constantly calls you Indiana. That is not what Marcus calls him. He says Indy. As far as I remember, he calls him like Indiana once, maybe twice in the 2 movies that he appears in. He always calls him Indy. And in this game, he very specifically, every single time, conversationally refers to him as Indiana. And that is blatantly wrong. That is not their relationship. Those two do not have that kind of relationship. He calls him by his nickname because that's who he is. It bugged the shit out of me that this very easy and obvious thing, like, this dude did a very good impression of the guy who played Marcus Brody. He did a very solid impression of him, but the script was just wrong. Similarly speaking, and this happened with a bunch of puzzles. Now, granted, puzzles later on in the game, like, I said, I watched a bunch of this. Puzzles later on in the game got interesting enough to kind of overshadow this, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Because of the very nature of the way interactive games work, like this early puzzle in the game. Some dude breaks into the museum and there's all these artifacts on the ground. You got to put them back.
Yeah.
But because you have the option to put them in the wrong place, it causes this uncharacteristic Indiana Jones stuff, right? He picks it up and he confusedly says, no, that isn't right.
Which Indiana Jones
would not make that mistake. Right. Exactly. Like, I understand that by the nature of this puzzle being this puzzle, like, you have to give the player the option to make the mistake, but in turn, you are breaking the Indiana Jones character by giving me the option to do this incredibly mundane task and then do it wrong. So I don't know what the solution is.
That, and I think what's important to point out about that particular puzzle, because it is so early in the game, it is one of the things you're going to come across first. It's very much of like, ooh, for the Indiana Jones character, right? It is a puzzle as basic as when you give a baby the cube that has the different shapes on it. And like,
exactly.
Well, the circle goes in the circle and the hexagon goes in the hexagon, right? Like, and after you figure it out, like the baby puts it in the right spot. Like, it's that level of like complicated for Indiana Jones would be it. You would be like, well, if you gave that puzzle to a 5-year-old, they would be like, doot, 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 doot. Okay, here you go. Right. Kind of thing. It is such an obvious puzzle.
So the question then becomes, why is this here? Like, why are we doing this? What is the purpose of us doing this puzzle if it is taking you out of the narrative to this extent? Because the act of solving the puzzle is not fun at all.
Right.
And I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
That kind of thing really permeated the entire experience as I was playing. Like, it seems like it's an impersonation of Indiana Jones. And the whole thing is like, this is why other Indiana Jones games, like the more abstract ones, like Fate of Atlantis, they work because they let you, the player, do the Indiana Jones stuff, right? They gamify what it's like to be Indiana Jones in a story. Whereas this one is, you're watching Indiana Jones and occasionally pressing buttons. Like, that's kind of what this felt like to me. Like, when you're in Uncharted, whenever you need to climb something, right? Even if it's something mundane, whenever you need to climb something, there's a decent amount of climbing in it. When you're playing Uncharted, they made sure that was still fun, right?
Yeah.
There was still some sort of sense of scale, some sort of sense of urgency. There was something to it. They made the vibe of that experience feel fun. In Indiana Jones, it always felt like a chore. Like, God, the backing up to get down from a ledge was so annoying to me. All right, turn around, look down, and slowly back off the ledge. And if you can catch on the ledge, then you will. And if you can't, well, you'll find out because you'll be fucking dead. There's also all these little tiny sequences that they make you do that add nothing. You turn the key lock. You don't just select the key. You got to push the button, and then you got to press the analog stick to turn the key. You've got to pull the spider webs apart by moving the analog stick. These little things grind everything to a halt, and they just remind me of like the old motion controlled games from like the Wii era, where it was like, look how clever we are. We can waggle the remote. Like, okay, but now we're not even waggling a remote. It's just like, here's a thing. There is nothing fun about brushing spider webs. Like, it's just, every single time it made me do that, it reminded me of like when you play Dragon Warrior and you have to like open a menu and hit stairs to go downstairs. It was
why
it annoys the crap out of me.
Why am I pressing right? I put the key in the fucking thing. Why do I also have to press
just
right?
Go.
Which is silly.
Key.
Right.
Let the game automatically open the door. I have the key, go to the door, open it. Other games do that. This is 2026. Don't make me navigate a menu to pick the only key I have in my inventory that goes in the only door that this thing needs to go in. Just give me something here. And it was just constantly felt like a chore. Like the game was stopping me from doing anything fun with it. I recognize that a lot of care was put into it. I recognize the inherent quality behind it. And I recognize that a lot of people really loved this game. I did not. I could not stop looking at the entire design philosophy of it and thinking, at what point did someone decide that this was actually fun? Again, it's all very cool, but it reminds me of stuff like Grand Theft Auto, where sure, you can do these cool things, and I understand that there are a lot of players out there where doing the cool thing is enough. That's cool. I did a cool thing. I beat up a hooker in a car. Isn't that great? Okay, but was it fun? Was the act of doing it fun? Was anything gamified where it felt like you were playing a game and it was a rewarding experience other than I did cool thing? And that was my biggest problem with this game. No matter how much I spent time with it, I got stuck in the Vatican. I got lost. I couldn't figure out where to go. I couldn't figure out what the game wanted me to do. The cinematic sequences all kind of came together very jarringly. Like, it wants to be a Spielberg-directed movie, but it's not. Spielberg didn't direct this. Somebody else did, and it shows. Because the things don't flow together naturally the way that they did. And God, when you're playing the intro to Raiders of the Lost Ark, some of the most iconic pieces of film ever put together, and it's just not quite right. It's someone doing an impression of it, a digital impression, no less. Every mistake just is amplified because of how almost it is there, but not quite over the finish line. But because it's aiming for nothing stylized, it's aiming for photorealism, those little things
really
become huge things. They really stick out. And it just ruined my enjoyment. That, and I just don't think the game is very fun.
I really thought you would enjoy it a little bit more than that when I first started playing it, right? Because when I first started playing it, I was much higher on the game than I was when I stopped playing it. Because by the time I got done with that game, I was like, man, do I just not want to be doing this anymore? Like, I did
quote you in the article because you had said you didn't feel like playing. It's like a 10-hour Indiana Jones movie, but I don't want to watch a 10-hour Indiana Jones movie.
I just don't want to watch a 10-hour Indiana Jones movie. I just don't. It's not that fun.
It's not. It stops feeling like an Indiana Jones thing, yeah.
Yeah. And I really did. Like, I really enjoyed the first little bit with it because I got through the Vatican section, like, pretty quickly, and I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. And then, like, you're moving along, and then after a while, it was just like, oh, so, like, it's just this.
Yeah, that was another thing that I did was, like, I would have kept playing it if I had watched, like, I looked ahead, because I had a very short window to play through this to get it done on time. Right. So when I got bored, I looked ahead and I was like, all right, is something intrinsically different going to start happening? Like, what do I have to look forward to? And I'm like, oh, we're still doing this. Like, this is still
just that.
Fail miserably at being stealthy, get into fights you can't win, and wow. Because
there's one particular section where you are on. So, I mean, spoilers for anybody who hasn't played the game at this point, and, or who isn't going to is fine, whatever. There's one particular section where you end up on a Nazi ship, but you're up in, the Himalayas, wherever you are. You're up somewhere in, like, the snowy mountains, right? Absolutely where a giant boat should not fucking be. And you need to, like, it is a stealth section. You need to stealth your way through this. You really can't make the decision that I make very often in stealth games of like, well, I tried once and I didn't do it the first time, so I'm just going to go in here guns blazing and fuck it. Like, this
Gave it the old college try. Let's
kill everyone. I did. I, in fact, tried one time. And that is all I was going to try. But this, I just had to do it over and over and over again because I just couldn't get it because it was just the stealth section that wasn't any fucking fun to do. And it just didn't work. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And like
the stealth stuff really didn't work, and it really wants you to be stealthy.
Yeah.
Way more often than I want to be stealthy.
Yeah. And by the end of that game, I was just like, man, I do not want to do this anymore. I want this to actively be over. Which is about the worst place a video game can get to, right?
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Boy, do I want this to be over. Man.
So, yeah. that was a pretty big disappointment to me. But we'll see. I also got assigned to review Bubsy 4D, so whenever that shows up in the mail,
Are you doing that?
Bubsing my face off.
You doing that for Nintendo Force?
Yeah, I'm Bell Park and Bubsy are for Nintendo Force. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got. It's late. We've been going for a long time. It is time to call it quits. That is our show. Join us next time for the May 10, 20, 30, 40, where we talk about notable game releases from decades past. It's been a weird year for that stuff so far. Let's see if we've picked things up in May. I don't know. Anyways, we're on most social media platforms. If you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you could shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep the show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by banjo guy Ali. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. I'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That is it. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.